taking the online race broadcast performance to the next level. This is the Full Velocity Network.
Well, surprise, surprise. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network, live here on a Tuesday night for a really great, spectacular event we have live here tonight. Partnering up with Big Show Promotions, doing some iRacing tonight, the UMP Dirt Modifieds at the famous, legendary Lanier Speedway. Thank you out there, everybody in YouTube land, for tuning in this evening for a very special broadcast, something that didn't really come into view for us till probably this earlier on this morning. So we've been scrambling behind the scenes, and we're ready for a great show for you here tonight, live on the Full Velocity Network. Thanks again for tuning in. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with my broadcast partners this evening. Got Blake McCandless and David Schildhouse alongside. Too Tall Todd Stanton making his debut at the controls for us here tonight on the Full Velocity Network. Joe Allen not available to us on a Tuesday night, so being versatile as we are here in FEN. Todd Stanton's been working hard at the controls all day long, and we got a great show prepared for you here tonight. Doing things way different than we're accustomed to out here iRacing. Very first time for us. It's been a while for us on the dirt. First time with the UMP Modifieds, and a lot of different flavor we're going to have here tonight. Have some heat racing. Believe these guys are going to be time trialing a whole cool race format breakdown, and I don't think any of us really know what we're going to expect here tonight as we call all the live action. You know, there's so many cars that have entered the pit area, turn laps and practice, and it is going to be one wild show. Living by the seat of our pants tonight, we're going to call the action just as we see it, the best we could be prepared to do on the short notice we got this event, and we're thrilled all of you have decided to tune in and be a part of this awesome show tonight. And I'll do the first swing around the night to my broadcast partners here, Mr. Blake McCandless. Thanks for joining us tonight, Blake, and I know you got some history on the Lanier Speedway and out here in the UMP Modifieds. This is going to be one awesome night. I'm not sure any of us really know what to expect here.
Absolutely, Phil. I'm thrilled to be back here on the Full Velocity Network, and thanks for having me again. I'm thrilled to be able to come back out here and see some exciting action on the dirt. This Lanier Speedway, this is the dirt configuration of what it originally was in the 1980s. The track was founded in 1982, and it was reconfigured to a asphalt track about 1985 or so, and that's what it's been up to this day. But man, I sure do love seeing the dirt on this place. It's going to create some great racing around these long corners, and I'm just excited to be here and call an exciting action. A lot of different cars out here tonight. We got a ton of different names from all across the iRacing community, and I'm just thrilled to be here, and it's going to be a great night. And I'm just thrilled to have you, and I'll throw it out to my good friend David Schildhouse, who is joining us up here in the booth as well tonight.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Lanier Speedway. It's going to be a great show. We got UMP Modifieds, some of the most exciting race cars that you can watch go around a dirt track. I got some personal experience with this car in this sim. I got experience with these types of cars in real life. Never drove one, but I did work on them for a number of years. They're a blast. They put on a great show, and I think looking over this roster of drivers we have here tonight, we're really going to be in for a treat. So I'm looking forward to see what these guys can do as they sling the mud around here at Lanier Speedway tonight, Phil. Should be a really fun show.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome show. These guys, Group A is going out for their time trial hot lap session right now. We'll be able to display a lot of that on your screen here as we're going to do some hot lapping, some time trials. We've got heat races on the docket, and then I believe a 30-lap feature event we're going to see here just in a little while. Everything we're going to see here tonight, lot different than what we're accustomed to. These guys using what they call gentlemen's type cautions. They're going to race in, what would be an official practice format. So all the bells and whistles ticker that you would normally see on Full Velocity. Well, Todd has been busy all day hand making stuff, doing the best we can do. You know, these guys not going through an official race condition, so that's presented a whole different sort of challenge for us. And Todd Stanton, I'll throw it to you if you're allowed to talk to us here tonight. First time at the controls, buddy. Got your hands full. You've been clamoring to get out here doing some iRacing dirt live on Full Velocity, and brother, don't we have a good one here for us tonight. Not exactly sure what any of us can expect from the show, but it's going to be a wild time.
Yeah, indeed, it's going to be a wild time here this evening, and it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen at Lanier Speedway. Glad to be a part of this, and controls is going to be a busy place for me here this evening.
Yeah, we're so thrilled to have Todd down there doing the controls for us here tonight. Sure, he's going to do an outstanding job. You know, we're missing Joe Allen, of course, tonight here, but Todd's going to be a fixture on the controls here on Tuesday nights for us for any show we got going forward, and I'll be thrilled to have these two guys alongside, calling out all the action on the Speedway. We got a hot one here tonight at the Lanier Speedway. Name of the series, name of this league, Big Show Promotions. Tonight running the Liquid Nitro Weekly Racing Series. You know, weekly racing these guys do on Tuesday nights with these UMP modifieds. And, you know, David Schilthouse, I know you've worked on these things before, never been on one in real life, but having the background on the dirt modifieds, you know, Todd has a lot of it myself, been around a little bit over the years. I mean, and these things are completely different than anything I think we've ever seen. And you come over here to the way these guys presented this in iRacing. This is like the newest mod of the group. I mean, these guys done a superb job. The detail on these cars is just absolute second to none. And we are going to be, I can't wait to see what these guys do when it comes to race conditions here in a little bit.
Yeah, the thing really about the modifieds, just like the modifieds on the asphalt side, when you talk about a stock car versus a modified, you know, everyone talks about the immense more amount of grip that you find in a modified on the asphalt side. But when you flip it over to dirt, you talk about a modified on dirt, it's the perfect balance, maybe a little bit of an imbalance, if you will, and that's what makes it so fun, between weight and power. These things have an immense amount of horsepower, and they don't weigh a whole heck of a lot. And unlike a supermodel, or super late model, I should say, where you have a bigger body and a little more mechanical grip available, the modifieds are on these little hockey discs, or hockey pucks, as our friend David Day likes to call them. And so you're really sliding around. You don't have a lot of grip available to you. And you're just really trying to make the car hook up and work as best as possible. So it's really a recipe for a lot of fun when you have high horsepower, low grip, and a dirt track. And it's just sort of the perfect storm for really great racing. And these guys, I think, are going to put it all together. You might see some contact. I'm fully expecting to see a lot of contact tonight, Blake. And you and I both know that contact on the asphalt side isn't necessarily a good thing. But here on the dirt side, you can sort of get away with it, rub fenders a little bit. And I think we're going to see some of that tonight.
Definitely, I think we are, David. With all these cars that are out here, there's going to be a lot of people battling for all the spots out here. And the other thing that I think iRacing has been able to simulate so well is the changes in these dirt tracks. And
What's that, Phil?
as the rubber gets laid down on the dirt, how the track changes, how that groove comes in at the top on that cushion at the top of the track. It's definitely interesting to see how they've simulated the changes and how accurate it is to real life. But it's going to make for an interesting race tonight, David. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'm expecting to see some good door-to-door action as they sling it around sideways here. And you know, I've put some laps on the iRacing
right
simulator here at Lanier in this car. And it's not easy. I jumped out there with no experience or anything, and I was really, really slow. I didn't have a good setup or anything, but I was just really, really slow. But you know, it takes some time, takes some experience, and you'll get up to speed really quick, Phil.
Absolutely, and these things are going to be absolutely phenomenal to get out there. Looking at, you know, qualifying times going up for these guys, they're going out there, and I believe they have 5 different groups out there, A through E. So these guys going out there a couple of cars at a time. But looking at some of the times that have clocked in, it's the number 7 of Bobby Rafferty, who's clocked in with a really fast lap, 14.090. Cam Taylor, he just clocked in second quick at the number 14 with a 14.092. And you see times just coming in, you know, hot and heavy now as this second group has gone out there. They're laying down some lap times. Kelvin Harper in the 112 turned to 14.093. So look at these laps, Blake. I mean, 0.003 of a second between first to third. I mean, if this is any indication what this night is going to be like for us here, once we get into heat racing and especially feature racing, we are going to be in one awesome show. I mean, look at, now we have Kelvin Harper clocking in sub 14 seconds, 13.992. These guys are hauling the mail at Lanier.
They are, Phil, and what's going to be interesting is we still got about half this field that's still got to put down a time. So you're going to be looking at these guys, and as more and more laps get put down, that that push to the top's just going to get more and more competitive. We're going to see guys probably around that sub 13 range probably be the fastest guys on the track, and I'm just excited to see what the rest of this field does, because I mean we're going to have about 30 or so lap times that are all within a couple tenths of each other. So this is going to be really interesting to see. Of course, this is a little bit different than what we're used to. We do a lot of fixed setup racing, and this is open setup. So you're going to have guys that have a little bit more varying speed, but those guys at the top, man, it's definitely going to be a real close time difference between all of them. And again, it's gonna even change as the track changes and gets wet and the track develops. It's going to change even more. So we're really looking forward to it, Phil.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome night here. So we're in the middle of a hot lap time trial session. I believe Group C is now going to make their way out to the racetrack. I believe we've had 18 drivers clock in for time. I mean, I don't have the official count of how many cars have clocked into the pit area, but it's got to be well over 35. We're pushing close to 40 cars. So, time trials are going to be critical. Heat racing is going to be absolutely key for these guys tonight, getting a starting position. And you can't win one of these big main event features, David Schildhouse, unless you make it to the main event. And for what we're seeing out of these guys, the competitive lap times, and I mean, these are all basically new names for us and just a new style of racing for us altogether. I mean, I'm not sure if any of us can predict what happened, except that it's definitely going to be exciting.
Well, just like so many things in life, what you don't know can't hurt you, or can it? We'll find out tonight, but I think what we don't know about this series, or necessarily the style of racing, is going to make for an interesting broadcast for us, at least, because we're going to be learning just like these guys are learning what the track's doing tonight. And when it comes to this, we see a guy already in the sub 14 second in Kelvin Harper, and I think we're going to see those times fall even a little bit, but there's some really strong names that I recognize in here, guys like Justin Fuller. I think I saw David Day pop in here, and some guys that really can get it done on dirt. You just got to make sure that when you go out to make your hot laps and put down a time, that you're not running around other guys, because if somebody's in your way, that's a distraction. That's somebody that's in your peripheral view, or somebody you're worrying about. If they make a mistake, it can make you run a slower lap time. So that's really the key, and these guys try and space it out, but not a big racetrack. You don't have a lot of places to go, so if you're toppling over somebody, you're not really going to get away from them. Unlike on asphalt, where we can sort of space ourselves out a little bit, you really can't get away from anyone when you're on a small track like this.
That's exactly what I was looking at, David. As Brian Cooper, I was following along with him during those heat laps, and he caught up to Scott Schroyer, who's sitting right now in the looks like the 12th position with a 14.4. Brian Cooper clocked in at a 14.027. He had to back off and basically run the top of the track to try and get some distance between him and Scott so that he could try to make another hot lap. But it definitely looks like those 14.0s, and even if you can reach those 13s, that's what it's going to take to qualify at the top here at Lanier.
Yeah, I'm just staggered by the lap times coming in to say Brian Cooper just clocked up there with second fast time. Clint Porter, the number 96, just clocked in Group C, a 14.091. Chase Swafford also clocking in that session, 6 quick, 14.096. And, these times keep clicking in as, one group will come in and be done with their 4 laps a session. Group D, I believe, now going to take their turn to the speedway. So these guys we'll get up to speed. We'll let the times all start clicking in, update where the top of the leaderboard may sit. We'll update all the times that they've come in. I'm looking down at my sheet here. I'm counting an absolutely staggering. I mean, I can't believe the car count here tonight. Just on a little dirt track here. 32 drivers so far have clicked in and made a time on the racetrack. So an absolute staggeringly big field. I mean, I'm not sure what these guys can start for a feature event. I'll throw that down to Todd here, see if he can't give me some back-end communication down there, as I know he's got his hands full at the controls here tonight. But I'm just staggered by how many cars have come to Lanier tonight. It shows dirt racing in this community, and iRacing is alive and well. These UMP modifieds are going to be quite a hit, and we got a lot of new names here, some familiar faces, a lot of names that you may recognize if you're a competitive iRacer, go out there night in, night out. But theoretically, this is really a new experience for us, new experience for everybody out there tonight. Just thrilled to have you all aboard. live on the Full Velocity Network. See, the chat box has been really busy early on, and we hope you guys will do so all night long, as we're going to bring you this action, the absolute best that we know how to cover it here. It'll be live, it'll be exciting, it'll be high energy. We're going to be, anticipating all the action, calling it all as it happens, giving you truly the ultimate esport experience, just like we call here night after night, live on the Full Velocity Network. Thanks to all the guys
try
at
not to throw
Big
anything to me.
Show Promotions for allowing us to come over here tonight. No, Todd was up really late, early into the long hours of the night, getting all the parameters and stuff set for this event. And a lot of us have day jobs, so Todd went to work all day, and as soon as he got out of work, he's been at the computer probably since about 5 o'clock this afternoon, just getting everything all set and ready. Different format for us here tonight. The ticker is going to be a work in progress for us all night, as these drivers will be racing. And what we know as a practice session here, it's set up for a long 4-hour session. These guys are all going to do heats the same way. They'll run their feature racing the same way. So it's going to be a little different feel than our viewers may be accustomed to here tonight. Maybe not all the bells and whistles, but the group of guys you all know and love going to call the action as it comes. Group D starting to click in sometimes there, Blake, and seeing some different names popping onto the board there, but I'm seeing nobody from this session. Looks like it may be the 29 of Brett Bartles, who is clocked in with the best time of this session, 7th quick at a 14.100.
Yes, Phil, and as we say that, it looks like Group F, headed off by Lee Dan Pina, is going to start this next group here. It looks like they got about 6 or 7 cars here in Group F as they're going to start clicking off times. It's interesting to see. We still got probably about, it looks like 10 cars still sitting down on pit road. And, it's just going to be interesting. And another thing it looks like Justin Fuller mentioned in our chat box is he wishes he could go in a later group depending on how the track changes. It looks like these guys are kind of stuck to the bottom. If you want to get a good lap right now, you want to be almost right against the edge of that pit road wall, but perhaps as this track changes and the track and grooves start to move around, maybe you want to go later and see if you can try out a different groove or something like that as this track continues to change and evolve.
No, absolutely. While we got some downtime here, we know watching these groups go out there in time trial. I know we've talked to Justin Fuller in the chat box, but he's one of the couple of guys we may have access to, as far as our TeamSpeak communication tonight. So let's see if we can bring Justin just briefly into the conversation here as well. He's a guy going to go out there and compete with this field here tonight. Justin Fuller, you went out there in the first session on the racetrack out there, and you're seeing these times go up here, as I believe we're into Group F now. So are you seeing any kind of differences with the racetrack? Is the groove starting to widen out? And it looks like lap times are starting to pick up every so slightly.
Oh yeah, it was a huge disadvantage to go out first on the track. Real sloppy track, pretty muddy. It's slicking off right now. Plenty of grip out there right now. It's almost perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the top time come out of this next group or two. The track has changed a ton though. Setup's pretty good though. It's fixed setups. We're all in the same setup, and we all got the same thing to deal with. We got heat races to work our way up there and make sure we get in the feature.
Yeah, now you talk about you gotta succeed through the heat races to make the feature. For a guy like you, who I know is accustomed to winning a lot of races, running a lot of time up front, maybe not having a whole lot of time in this car on this setup on this racetrack. I mean, it's got to be full on attack mode for you come to heat races. How do you approach all that?
I don't really know. So far, I think we're gonna end up top 15 probably on the time charts. I think that'll give me a decent starting spot on one of the heats. I know the top 2 are going to make, I believe they said they're going to transfer out of the heats to the features. Then there's going to be 2 B mains, and they're going to take a top 5 out of each one of those. I fully expect myself to be able to race myself in the top 2 in the heat. I'll be pretty disappointed in myself if I don't, as another guy just beat my time down to 11th now. But if not, I should easily, hopefully, be able to transfer in the B main.
Well, Justin, stand close all night long. We'll be pulling you in and out of the conversation. Said you're one of the few guys here we're going to have, just good communication with here, as you're just a channel above us here in TeamSpeak. So we'll pull you in periodically through the night, update us on how the track's still treating you out there and all the racing. And thanks for being around, and thanks for being an asset to us here tonight, bud.
Not a problem. I look forward to racing tonight, and you guys have fun broadcasting.
We certainly going to. So Justin Fuller, gracious enough here to join us. So Todd goes back with Justin many years. And David, I know you've known Justin a while too, a guy who's been around in the iRacing world. Justin, no slouch whatsoever. He's won a lot of races, competed in a lot of big races, and this is starting to feel like a humongous race deal with these guys at Big Show Promotions tonight. I'm just staggered by the amount of cars in the pit area, and all going to try to make a, just seeing now we're into Group F out there time trialing. I'm just staggered. I'm thrilled, and I'm so appreciative. We have a great viewership out there on YouTube, but I'm thrilled these guys have all tuned in to see the action we got here for us.
Yeah, this has the feel of one of those big-time $25,000 to win, big-time dirt shows out there in real world where you see guys like Kenny Wallace and Bloomquist and all them big-time, Tony Stewart and all them guys go out there, Rico Abreu and all those guys. This has that feeling like that tonight, and this just proves that dirt racing is alive and well in iRacing. The drivers really wanted this, and that's why it was a big deal when it came out. They did it well. It works well. And guys are really excited about it. So to see this big of a turnout and be into, a G and an H class of drivers going out in all these different segments, that really speaks volumes for a big show. And, it just tells me that they're doing a great job of attracting drivers. So I'm really I'm thrilled for them, thrilled for the community, and really look forward to seeing a great show here tonight, Blake. And, I don't know how many laps you have around dirt, but I've taken a few myself, and I think it's great. What do you think about it?
Well, I would like to say I'm great at it, but it's fun. It's a challenge. It's definitely not my forte. Something that I was able to throw a few laps down the other night here at the night version of this track, and man, it's a handful. I got to tell you, as a guy that comes from an asphalt background, it's definitely a lot different. Just slinging it in the corner and being able to control it. I hope that as time goes on, I'll be able to pull some times like guys out here are being able to, as we see, looks like Group G, if I'm not mistaken, or Group H is out here on the track right now. It's, there's so many, I'm starting to lose track of it. But, yeah, it's definitely something different. But, David, as you alluded to, it definitely does show, a field like this shows that the community is live and well for dirt racing on iRacing, and in general. It just shows that guys are willing to show up and compete hard for a great show. And it looks like Tyler Walton actually just took the lead, the 138 of Tyler Walton, with a 13.984. That's 8 thousandths quicker than our second place Kelvin Harper. So it looks like guys in this later group are being able to throw down fast times, as Justin Fuller alluded to earlier.
Yeah, you're seeing the racetrack get really racy there as Tyler Walton just clocked it, as you said, a 13.984. Also clocking with a great time. Fourth quick with a 14.060. Neil Adamsick, that number one machine, had a great lap time. Also, Skylar Brown has clocked in sixth quick, a 14.091. There's a lot of lap times. Just so close, a lot of even lap times up and down this field as cars just continue to sprinkle their way, onto the racetrack. And, this is just going to be an incredible night for us live on Full Velocity. Just can't believe the amount of support this series has got this night, has got so far. And we're only in time trial mode. We haven't got to heat races. We haven't got to the main event. Can't wait to see what these guys are going to twist and turn. And, thanks to Brett and to Tyler for allowing us over here to Big Show Promotions tonight. And we feel like we've really hit it the big time this evening, just having an awesome night watching these guys going on around the lap. And it looks like, guys, qualifying times have now officially been posted. Looks like we have wrapped up our time trial session, and that's going to put Tyler Walton, as Justin said, went out there late in the going, 13.984. Kelvin Harper going to clock in second quick, a 13.992. Brian Cooper clocking in third with a 14.027. Neil Adamsick, a 14.060. And rounding at your top five, Bobby Rafferty, who went out real early. And you can see with the lap time of 14.090. I mean, lap times equal within about 0.2 of a second, Blake, from first all the way down to about 27th position. We've had, amazing how many guys have come in and turned times. Look like 51 drivers have come in and at least entered a time in time trials. It's going to be an amazing night for us.
Definitely, Phil. I look at that top 10. They're separated by 1.113 seconds. And, I mean, with the differing track conditions and everything going on, that's just a really incredible output by these guys. It's going to make for great races. Even we see 10th through 20th only separated by about 0.15 seconds. So it's definitely going to be a really close, tight-knit field. We're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing tonight. I can guarantee you that. We're going to see people down low, up top, everywhere around this Lanier Speedway. It's going to be a sight to see as we are going to get started here with heat races shortly. But David, what do you think we're going to see tonight? I think we're in for a pretty good show.
Well, as it goes on dirt, they have a fixed setup, so I'm not sure. And I wanted to ask Justin, and maybe it's better it remains a secret that we don't know. We can just speculate along. But I wanted to ask Justin, what is the setup built for? Is it built for a track that gets real slicked off, as cars drive around it? Is it built for, a drier surface, or what? Where does that setup really shine? Because that's the thing with dirt. It's an ever-changing setup as cars make laps around. It starts off real muddy and tacky and starts to slick off, and then it gets dry. So we'll see what happens, but I hope that they have a setup built to run really well on the most common surface for this track. And as they make laps around it, the racing improves. But I think we're going to see a lot of side-by-side. I think we're going to see a lot of contact. And I think we're going to see a lot of guys that are maybe a little bit out of their element and trying to learn as they go. So varying degrees of skill, and I think it's going to all culminate in one really exciting race.
Well, it certainly is. Well, we're in between the stage from time trials heading over to heat races. Race control putting together the heat lineups as we speak. But before we get to heat racing, these guys at Big Show Promotions, they've done some great work for us here tonight, providing us some, commercial clips of some big events they have going on. And we're going to pause for 1 second here. We're going to let this air, and we'll be back here live on the Full Velocity Network from the Lanier Speedway in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, before they go fast and stop.
All right, back at the Lanier Speedway, hanging out with Big Show Promotions here tonight. UMP Modified Racing, the Liquid Nitro Weekly Racing Series. These guys here every Tuesday night running the UMP Modifieds. I believe they loop on Lanier for a couple of weeks at a time, so this will be really cool to see. And apologize to the guys out there in the chat box. And Todd Stanton making his debut on the controls here tonight. This show came to us, a little less than 24 hours ago, probably about 12 hours, you want to call it that. And it's really put us all on our game, having to whip things up here. And Todd, having to do the controls for the first time for us. We're expecting a little glitches here and there, and we apologize to these guys. We'll get the sound worked out on the promo. We'll put Todd to work on that if his hands already ain't full enough down there tonight. Doing things a lot different than we're accustomed to. Just awaiting the group postings to be posted here. Heat lineups are going to be going out there very, very shortly, and we'll be seeing these guys out there on the racetrack. Try to get some parameters here, how the groupings for the heats are going to go out, the heat race distances, main event distance. We'll get all that out to you as quick as it'll come into us, as heat lineup starting to get posted up to the screen. And we'll see action out here on the racetrack here. Race formatting here, it's going to look a lot different than we're definitely accustomed to. And it's been a night so far, Blake. We're all living by the seat of our pants. We're all in this together, and I'm just so thankful these guys at Big Show Promotions have brought us over. Thankful for all the YouTube support we've got so far tonight. And there's a lot of excitement and buzz in the air. And I can't wait to see where heats are going to go. Can't see how the drama is going to pay off here when we get toward, the A main and whatnot. I mean, it is going to be one just locked and loaded, spectacular night for us live on Full Velocity.
It is. I'm looking at all these heat lineups. It looks like as they're coming in here, as they're filtering through to us here in the broadcast booth, looks like we got a stout field. We're going to have 7 heats of, it looks like, about 8 to 7 cars each. I think they're going to run 8-lap heats here during it. So we're going to be tuned to 56 laps of very good side-by-side racing here. So, as these lineups continue to come in and everything gets finalized by the staff here, we'll just be waiting on it, and man, it looks like it's going to be just an awesome showing.
Oh, it's certainly going to be fun as heat lineup starting to sprinkle in here, and I feel like we're going round and round, guys, and we apologize for that, but we're going to call it just as it comes in. It is the benefit of live TV here tonight. You're getting the ultimate esport experience right here live on the Full Velocity Network. We're going to give it to you the best we can do it, with all the chaos, the commotion. We're going to live this all together tonight as we get ready for what is going to be a spectacular night. Heat race lineups are coming in. They're being posted to us on the screen here as fast as we can get them out there to you. We absolutely will, and it is going to be just awesome here. 8-lap heat races, David Schildhouse. 8 laps. You want to run your way to a big show, man. You're going to have to drive balls out for all 8 circuits. I mean, if you're going to put good qualifying time up there, you got to be feeling good. But if your guys, mired deep down in the field, qualifying outside the top 30, you got to be sweating going to these heats.
Well, you ain't got much time to get anything done if you're in the back, so you got to get aggressive. And you know what happens when you get aggressive? Well, aggressive goes around. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Let's get it out of the way early tonight. Aggressive is going to go around, but you got to be aggressive on this dirt track if you're going to go somewhere. 8 laps, that's like nothing. You're running 14-second lap times around here, man. You ain't got time to waste. So if you're in the back in one of these heats, 8 laps to get it done to get up to the front, you got to get after it. So we're going to see. It's going to be exciting. I think the guys up front are going to feel less pressure, definitely, than the guys in the back. But that's where the action is going to be, is in the back for them fighting to get into those spots to get through here, Blake. So I'm waiting to see some really cool, interesting things that we may not see otherwise when we're watching asphalt racing. I think we got one hell of a show coming up with these heat races. I'm really excited.
I am too, David. It's going to be quick and it's going to be exciting, as it looks like heat number 1 is starting to get all situated on pit road as they're getting ready to go out and put on our first heat for us for the night. Of course, that heat's going to be led by the 138 of Tyler Walton that threw down our fastest lap so far with a 13.984. So it looks like we're about to get all situated here. We're going to be going green here shortly. It's going to be fun and quick, like you said, David.
All right, well, we'll read off here the starting lineup here for heat number 1. Starting on the pole, it's going to be the 138 of Tyler Walton. To his outside is going to be the 75 of Chase Swafford. Starting inside row 2 is going to be the 37. That's Virgil Graham. To his outside, and the outside of row 2, that's going to be the number 5 of Brandon Schmidt.
24 car Matthew Holt will take the inside of the next row, followed by the 199 machine, piloted by Jason Nash. On the inside, a row back from them will be Kent Turnbull from Canada, and then we'll have the 8 of Line Satoff, and then in the rear of this, and Satoff will be the rear of this field, as it looks like they're coming off of pit road right now, getting ready to go here at Lanier Speedway.
8 laps, going to be the distance. Got to see if we can't get anything from race control, how we're going to do as far as transferring go into the main event. It's going to be just a wild flying by. Top 2 transfer out of the heat, so pay attention to the top 2 for 8 laps around. We're going to do the best to call this action. It's going to be just every bit as intense as we can put it out to be out here on YouTube here tonight, live, the Full Velocity Network. Welcome to the ultimate eSport experience. We're about to turn these suckers under green flag. Heat number 1, 8 laps the distance. And what do you say, Blake McCandless? We're going to throw these suckers under green flag. This is going to be a good time.
It's going to be a great time, Phil. It's going to be short, quick, and you got to get to that top 2 really, really fast. And it looks like they're coming off of turn number 4 here. I'll throw it down to you, David.
All right, green flag is getting ready to go. They're already hitting. They're already racing. We're under green as they pile off of turn 1 here in Lanier. These guys are going all over the place. Sideways is fast. We got a fight for second place, third place, fourth place. We're trying to get it all sorted out right now. He's walking away from this view.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's pulled himself out of the parlay. Good race for second going on. I believe that's the 75 on Tyler Lawrence. There also Jason Nash in the mix as well. Looks like racing in the front of this field, guys. Good race going on back between the 199 and the 31. We've got the race for the fourth spot down the front straightaway.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting dicey here. It looks like the 5 is being able to pull away. Brandon Smith is going to try to chase down that third place driver of Chase Wofford. It looks like Wofford and that 37 machine piloted by Graham are going to be the battle for that second spot. But it looks like Graham is starting to pull away.
Yeah, transfer spot is where I'm watching. Virgil Graham. He knows he's in a good spot, but he's not clear just yet. Chase Wofford is up at 75. He's going to try and run down here, but I like the line that the 37 running right around that wall. Makes it hard for anyone to make up time on you. We got, I don't know how many laps we got. We got too close to the end.
We got 5 laps of it going on the board. Looks like it's still one all there with the race because they hit their way up. It was kind of cool. You call them on the racetrack. The guys all spread out. Still that machine sitting in that 7th spot. That is the transfer spot there. All spread out around the speedway. All chasing that 138 up at turn number 4. Believe we're coming to the wing line this time around.
We are, Phil. It looks like we're going to have one to go in this heat right here. And it looks like Tyler Walton is going to go unchallenged here. He's going to win heat number 1. And it looks like Virgil Graham is going to be that second place driver. He's going to be the second place cutoff into this heat. Third place is going to be Chase Swatford. Fourth, Brandon Schmidt. Fifth, Matthew Hope. Sixth, Jason Nash. Kent Turnbull will be in 7th. And it looks like our 8th place driver may have had an incident over there. That's the number 8. Of Sadhoff.
All right, so that's going to bring heat number 1 into the pit area. They're going to roll heat number 2 off on the grid here in just a second, and everybody parked in to the infield, all ready to get out there on the racetrack for their heat races here. So they're going to turn these over in quick order. So, David, as they get all staged, let's start with you. You got the starting lineup front row for heat number 2.
All right, heat number 2 on your pole is going to be the 112 of Kelvin Harper. To his outside is going to be the number 9 car. That is going to be Brandon Blaylock. Inside of row number 2 is the 56. That's going to be Chet Williams. To his outside of row number 2 is going to be the 15 of Michael Dollard.
In row number 3, we got a familiar face. That's Scott Schroyer, the number 25. And to his outside will be the 55 machine of Matthew Fizzle. The 44 is going to pilot the inside of the next row. That's Tyler Blankenship. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly there. And then to his outside, it looks like the 73 of Ryan Weishart is not in the circle. So it looks like perhaps it looks like we may be one member down, but it looks like we're still going to have a tight race there for that second spot in this upcoming heat.
Absolutely. Get ready to go for 8 more laps around here. The field is taken center stage. We have taken 1 to go. The front row of this heat is at the 112 of Kelvin Harper. The outside, the number 9 car of Brandon Blaylock. He's going to start outside. Top 2 are going to transfer. 8 laps going to be the distance. Maybe she'll have some green flag in the air.
All right, 112 gets a great jump. That's right now leaves at 1 and 2 off the back straightaway in the 3 already. Now focused on the second place transfer position. Right now being currently held by the 9. The 36 is fast in his third great fire track. Here we come off the turn 2 blade into turn 3. How is he going to get around him? He's got to.
Well, it looks like everybody's kind of stuck down at the bottom. This makes it really hard to make any of these long sweeping corners here. Not a lot of banking here at the Lanier Speedway. It makes it tough to pass. It looks like as long as people are clogging up that bottom lane, it's going to be tough. The 36 is sticking to that 9 car. It's not moving away just yet.
Absolutely not. As we ride inside the 36 car. Leona in there for 36. Currently in the 3rd spot on the outside. Looking in. Brandon Blaylock just up ahead. 36 trying to find running
surprise, but it looks like there's going to be a close race here with Minna and the 9 car. It looks like there's going to be nose to tail as we're coming here, I think, to the white flag for this heat as we come off the turn number 4.
If Pete is going to do something, it's got to happen now. Blaylock's giving him everything he can to hold off that chart. Big slide into one by Pete. Work is going to come up a little bit short here. One last chance as they go down into 3. Running the same line, that's not going to get it done. Blaylock's going to hold the spot in.
Yeah, it looks like Penna came up just a bit short there. He stuck to him, but in 4th place we'll have Michael Dellard, 5th Jerry Bailey, 6th Scott Schroyer, 7th Matthew Fizzle, and 8th was Tyler Blankenship.
All right, so rounding out the field for heat number 2. These guys that is on the spot here tonight, Phil Lacasse joined by Blake McCandless, David Schildhouse, Todd Stanton making his grand debut on the controls for us here on Full Velocity tonight. No Joe Allen was out there clocking into the chat box here a little while ago. Thanks for tuning in, Joe, and all the gang out there tonight. Chat box has been alive. Hope you guys are enjoying this show just as much as we are bringing this to you. To set an event that came to us here within the last 24 hours, kept us absolutely scrambling and just doing the best we can. Todd doing an amazing job just to get this event out on the air tonight. These guys at Big Show Promotions doing an outstanding job. And just as we say that, David, these guys are rolling off for heat number 3. 8 heat races. They are moving fast and furious. So let's dive into the starting lineup of heat 3.
Heat 3, your pole sitter is going to be the 27 of Brian Cooper. To his outside of row 1 is going to be the 29 of Brett Bartles. Starting inside row 2, one of our guys, the 51, that's Justin Fuller. Keep an eye on him, trying to get to that second transfer spot. And to his outside, that's going to be the... I can't quite make out the number. Maybe the 50. It might be the 50 of Skylar Brown.
That'll be the 56 of Chet Williams. On the inside of row number 3, we have Philip Neese in the number 38. And on the outside of row 3, we got Josh Corkwell. On the inside of row number 4, looks like we got the number 88 of, looks like, Jerry Bailey. And then number 4, Tristan Carmen, will be on the outside of row number 4 as they're coming around to turn 3 to take the green.
Waiting a green flag this time around. Heat number 3. Top 2 drivers transfer. They are green flag racing off into turn 1.
Oh, they're definitely
keeping it up.
Come out of turn number 2. Sorry to cut you off there, David. There's contact for second. There's contact for third. It looks like we even got some rubbing and making for 38. A lot of action here as we go off into complete lap number 1 here.
Oh, we got problems with Fuller going really shallow going into 1. He hit the cone, he hit the wall, he hit everything but the kitchen sink and the lottery. Right now, we got a caution on the racetrack.
All right, caution's out for the first time tonight here now in heat number 3. Justin Fuller having some issues there. This is going to happen fast and furious on the dirt here tonight, so not sure how much we're going to get able to have the benefit of the replays we would normally have, as these things just going to move around at a tremendously fast rate as action going on in the Speedway. Believe the caution laps here tonight in the heat races, guys. It is going to be all green flag laps. That's the whole theory of gentlemen's cautions here, like we're doing all these races being done in practice mode. So it's a different feel for us here as broadcasters. David and Blake doing a fantastic job calling the action, and I'm just trying to run along with them and kind of keep it all together out here. And we get set. I believe we got 3 laps on the board. The 88, I believe the 28 car going to maintain the lead here. Green flag once again back in the air, fellas.
All right, we're back underway. We got a fight for the lead. The 27 throws it down to the inside of the 29 there. They're battling amongst themselves, but the real fight is behind them. There's 3 wide for the third place. You guys are the main event riding away into the sunset. The 27 completes into turn 1. These guys are not leaving any into this racetrack. Like, this is a great race. Not leaving anything.
Definitely, there's a great battle here for 38 and the 4 car. Looks like those guys are sitting side by side. A lot of people banging, but it looks like the 38 is going to be able to get there. Chasing down the 27, that second transfer spot.
27 occupying that transfer spot. That is Brian Cooper chasing the 28. Thomas Carver
that 29. Oh boy, he's making a real impact. I'm telling you, like, a race here just to try and get a win. David Fly the line.
Oh no, Victor, the 38 foot piece, you want to see that. It looks like he's into turn number 3. It looks like he's going to be just short. 27 not going to catch 29. It's going to be Brett Martin taking the checkered flag here in this heat. It's going to be Brian Cooper getting that transfer spot in second. Oh, it looks like I may have been just a lap early on that call. Actually, never mind. That will be the end of that heat. Third will be Philip Neese. Fourth, Tristan Carman. Fifth, Chet Williams. Sixth, Jerry Bailey. Seventh, Justin Fuller after that accident early. And then he'll pass Josh Corkwell, who finishes 8th.
Yeah, great race for these guys here. So our first caution flag of the night, but these guys, doing a great job at Big Show Promotions. These guys putting on an awesome event here tonight. Well over 50 cars have come in, to come in and try to stake their hand here tonight. We're 3 heat races in of the 8 that are going to make up here tonight. So heat number 4 going to now roll on to the racetrack for 8 more laps. So they're turning them over quick. David Schildhaus, let's dive into the starting lineup.
All right, starting on the pole for this heat race is going to be the number 1. That's Neil Adamczak. Who's outside is going to be the 46. That's Matt Martin, no relation to Mark Martin. On the inside of row 2 is the 10. That's Jeremiah Davis. To his outside, that's going to be the 45. That's going to be Christopher Lowen.
Starting on the inside of row 3, we have the 30 of David Clark, and to his outside, the 53 of Bo Reddy. In the inside of row 4, looks like Brandon Cruz Monsivez. Wow, that's a real tongue twister. He'll be starting in the 54 machine. And it looks like that's all we'll have here for heat, five, if I'm not mistaken, as we're looking to come to the green. 4, my bad.
Heat 4 about to go under the green flag. Adamczyk and Martin going to make up your front row top. Green flag is in the air, and these guys all sprinting down to turn number 1. Already seeing a battle for that second position. Martin in the 46 has it. The white and red car behind him there. That's number 93. He is right there in the tire tracks. 46 with a great cut. He's going to be comfortably there into second there, Blake, off of turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like we had some contact there at 45 with Meyer all the way back. Seems like we had a skirmish there coming off of turn number 2, which we have 2 more around the back straight and the 53. 30
and 53 indeed going around. The number 30, unfortunately, looks like his nightmare has gone up in smoke here in qualifying. Also, over in there in the 53 as well, but we're still under green flag conditions, David. They are all chasing Adamczyk as we want to cut out 46. That's our top 2 as they get turn 1.
Matt Martin has the transfer spot, and it's going to be a fight with Jeremiah Davis to get it. He's not letting up. 46 did clip the wall a little bit there. Thank God Davis is still big. That target in front of him. He knows he's got to pick up the pace if he's going to get there. 46 runs a little bit higher up the track. I think he learned from that. He was away now with Lieutenant Davis.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to pull away, and you can actually start to see the reflection on this track. It looks like there's a lot of rubber. It's starting to build up some moisture down there in the bottom grid. You can visually see how much the track is changing, as it looks like that number 1 car is still pulling away for the lead.
Definitely pulling away from CFL. 2 to go at the line this time around. Neil Adamczyk saw him put up a terrific time in qualifying. He's doing so out here, laying waste of the field here in heat race number 4. 2 laps to go. Adamczyk in the lead. Kyle Martin is second. Does Jeremiah Davis have one last run to make it that transfer spot? It's about 5 car lengths. Nothing closing there as we hit the white flag, David. They're off of turn 2 already.
I'll tell you, there's very focused on Jeremiah and Bullfrog, but I don't think he's got a transfer spot tonight. He's not going to be able to get there. He's going to wind up a disappointing third. It's going to be Adamczyk. Matt Martin is going to get that transfer spot in second. Jeremiah Davis in seventh.
It looks like finishing behind him is going to be the 54 of Brandon Monsivez. And it looks like that's about all the cars that we have out here running. So it looks like 3 or 4 of these other cars were mired in accidents here.
Oh, absolutely right. That's going to bring the conclusion to heat number 4, halfway home as far as heat racing goes for these guys here tonight. 8 laps distance. So a couple of cars tore up here, and we apologize to everybody who may be a frequent viewer to the Full Velocity Network here at doing something out there completely different than what we're accustomed to. Ollie, we iRacing for one of the rare times we've got to do so, and thrilled to do so. We're out here dirt racing in the UMP modifieds, but said these guys doing a completely different format, doing everything in practice mode, doing everything with gentlemen's type cautions, and it's going to be a whole different feel that we're used to. Don't have the benefit of the ticker and whatnot here tonight, so we'll do our best as we communicate with race control, and these guys doing an awesome job, putting on an awesome show. And hope you guys are enjoying it live on the Full Velocity Network. David Schildhouse, we're about to move into Heat 5. Cars are pulling out on the racetrack. Let's dive into our starting lineup for Heat 5.
All right, Phil, we got on the pole. That's going to be the number 7, Bobby Rafferty. He was outside. It's going to be the 14 of Cam J. Taylor. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 023. That's Troy Lent. 2 is outside. It's going to be the 35, Jason Brown.
On the inside of row number 3, we got the 3 of Rick Bracel. On the outside, the 32 of Mark Long. And then pulling out the back, that's going to be the 39 of Tyler. It looks like we have trouble here on the start. We have one over on his roof.
Now one on his roof. That's going to put yellow flag on the speedway. Makes it push red flag lanes. One driver upside down. They bring a complete restart. These guys aren't slowing down whatsoever. It took them a whole lap to maybe get the signal, but I believe that lap was completely waved off. We may see a complete restart like we do on the dirt here, so that's going to bring Rafferty down to a screeching crawl here. Cam Taylor going to start there in position number 2. Third spot, we're going to find Brandon Cruz, and the number 24, I believe, is trying to click around here to do all the widgets and whatnot. iRacing is completely different here out on the dirt this evening, and I'm sitting here trying to fumble through the controls, get through all these great-looking cars. Todd Stanton doing an awesome job in there tonight on the controls for Full Velocity, making a grand debut down there for us. And thrilled to have all you guys out there watching. The YouTube chat box has been alive, and we're so thrilled and stoked that you wanted to join a Tuesday evening with us. This event came to us here just today, and it's been a frantic day getting this event already, getting all the names in the server, and a whole bunch of new names, new cars, new faces, new group that we're getting accustomed to. We hope to do a lot more of this, as we have one to go on the racetrack. Complete restart here, so no laps have gone on the scoreboard as they wrecked off the initial green, but give these guys a half a lap, David. We're going to be right back to the green flag racing. I can't believe it. 5 heat races in the book, well over 50 cars out of the pit area. And so far, we've seen a lot of action in 4 heat races. This one here, so far, we've seen our first really big incident of the night that tore up some race cars, put us on a caution flag, but business is about to pick up for us.
Yeah, it definitely is. It seems to me through the first 4 heat races that we've seen, being up front's where you want to be. I mean, that's obvious. All guys know that in racing, but it's really proven to be true here tonight so far. And the guys that are starting second row, third row, really struggling to get up to even challenge for that transfer spot. So really, that's where we want to watch is the 023 of Troy Lent and the 32 of Mark Long. They're in the second row there. They got to get in front of those guys in front. So we got green flag back on the speedway. The 7 of Bobby Rafferty. He's gone as they go down into turn 114. Slings in there sideways, holding on to that second transfer spot. Mike
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to chase him down. Troy Lane qualifying with a time of 14.2 earlier today. A little bit slower than that 14. He's going to have to find some speed somewhere. Looks like those top 2 are pulling away. The battlefield lead here as we come up on a few laps to go here.
Cam Taylor's pulled right up to the back. I don't know if you call the bumper one of these cars, but he's got Ryan right in his sights. Rafferty running out the outside lane. Cam Taylor to the inside. You see this track is really grown up a lot. Really slipping the racetrack. It's giving us some awesome pictures around this legendary Lanier Speedway. These guys racing. Taylor falling back in line. Rafferty looks like David. He's got a couple of advantage as you're halfway home here.
Yeah, he's taking a real good line around this racetrack right now. You see him, he's way up the track. Watch these guys really right on the bottom of the wall. Let me tell you, these guys are really continue to move up the racetrack. It's actually widening out. One of the lines where the tires look up the best. He's onto something. But 14's right in the tire track. They're both on the same thing. You're not going to get away from the guy. Nice line. So I like what I'm seeing, but it's great that he's not getting the service. Sucks for the guys up there because they're not going to catch him. But truly, the guys that jump along there, they're just able to go faster.
Yeah, it looks like that Cam Taylor has followed suit. looks like he's starting to catch him. He's pulling up in about 2 miles to that 7 car. After making up some ground, he's going to dive it in on the bottom and see if he can make the pass here for the lead.
Almost side by side on the third floor. Even there. Rafferty had to have known he was there. In the loud pedal. You know, you got to keep these things wide open on the floor. These corners, Rafferty running the high lane to perfection. Believe we hit 2 to go at the line this time around. Oh, sorry, that was a checkered flag there. Didn't see the white come out, but checkered flag is on the field. It's going to be Brian Rafferty picking up the win over Cam Taylor. They'll be your transfer spots here in each line.
Well, we're going to line them up here for heat number 6. We'll get this lineup out of the way nice and early. It's going to be the 50 starting on the pole. That's Skylar Brown. And to his outside is going to be the 68. That's Ronald Piles. Starting inside row 2, that's going to be the 90 of Kyle Thompson. To his outside in the 11, going to be Lucas Brenton.
Brent Licata will start on the inside of row number 3 in that 59 car. The 42 is going to start on his outside. That's going to be David Rudolph over there in the 3rd lane. And it looks like rounding out this heat is going to be the 33 of DJ Robinson, who will be starting in that 5th position for heat number 6, as they're still sitting on pit road, but it looks like they're going to be ready to go here in just about a lap or 2.
Yeah, cars are staging, getting ready to go back. Heat racing here. Heat race number 6. Hope you guys are out there enjoying the show on the Full Velocity Network. If you're liking what you're seeing, you'd like to see more of us, hear more of us, the soundtrack of sim racing is the ultimate esport experience right here live on the Full Velocity Network. Head over to our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com. Book your date now. iRacing and our 2003. We've buttered our bread for a long time. Our factor, whenever you're racing out there, we would love to see it. Come to us now. Book your date now. We would love to showcase all the great racing we've got going on, just like we're doing here tonight with big show promotions at the Lanier Speedway. Having a great show, the Liquid Nitro weekly racing series, guys. Heading out for heat race number 6. It's been an awesome night. We got some more great racing just ahead here, David.
Yep, ready to get this thing underway in 50. Down and away, green flag in the air. He's gone. The fight is on for a second. It's the 90 of Kyle Thompson. Look at the inside of the 68. He's desperate to make that thing happen. It looks like we'll walk up to a stop. We have got a caution on the speedway on lap 1.
Yeah, it looks like the yellow flag came out here, but it looks like they're going to restart this race. It looks like maybe the 50 fired too early is what they're telling us here. Race control, but green flag is back in the air. It looks like some of the guys in the back of the field weren't prepared for it, but we still got a close battle for second.
They work their way down the backstretch, going to the first on to that second place. 90 hot into the that spot. He was so close to getting it on that restart. The first start we had, he slings it down to the inside of the 68. Everything he can do. This is a good battle as the 50 begins to pull away just as close to the 62. Very different line as the 68 sort of slides up off the board. 90 gets a little bit more of a shallow exit. That makes it really, really interesting. Phil, I love what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Kyle Thompson trying to make something happen on the inside lane there. 68 from Kyle. He's got the transfer spot as we speak out there. The number 68 of all shapes are in the race here. The number 55 is having a great night out there. That is Skylar Brown. Right time started this race up on the pole, and so far the pole seems close to be tonight. We see races casting in the air. He's got a miracle of Ronald Piles behind him there. 68 not making any hay. Neither is that 90 car behind him. Thompson, he is right there. That's a good battle for the transfer spot in turn 1.
It is. Looks like these guys are kind of neck and neck right now. They seem to be taking different lines in the lap. You see what kind of hooks and pulls that they're going through. It looks like they're coming to 2 to go right here. This heat of Kyle Thompson looks like he's going to try the bottom. He's got to do something to try to get there.
Well, if you can't beat him on speed, you got to beat him on the radius. 68's doing a great job protecting, but look at the 90 getting a huge run up to turn 4. This is about to get really exciting. He has turned up the wick. He's running high, wide, and handsome here. Coming out back here, 68's going to have his hands full, and he tries to defend that, but one more time, 90 to the inside. He's going to come up just a bit short. He's going to hold on to the pile.
Miles going to take the transfer spot. What an awesome race there. Probably the best battle we've seen for the transfer spot through now 6 heat races. to make up this grand event here tonight. 2 more heat races to go. Then we'll get into some feature racing action here as we're setting the lineup for an awesome night. We got the B main coming up on tap. Yeah, that'll be just absolutely insane. Then, of course, the 30-lap A main coming up here in a little while here live on Full Velocity. We'll have live flag-to-flag coverage of the entire night, just as we've had from the start for the pre-race show. Now through 6 heat races, these cars are going to pull their way into the pit area. And they're going to pull heat number 7 out to the racetrack. Well over 50 cars coming in to try their hand at this event tonight. And, 6 down. Let's head into heat 7 there, David.
All right, starting on the pole for heat number 7 is going to be the 96. That's Clint Porter. To his outside is going to be the 52. That's David Kalb. And starting inside row number 2, that's going to be the 2. That's Carson Sylvester. To his outside, that's going to be the 34. That's Eric Arensdorf.
Starting on the inside of row number 3, we got the 19 of Kevin Blum. Starting to his outside will be Thomas Carberry. Rounding out the end of this heat will be Steven Steenbergen in the number 62. We are going green this time by, and man, it's sure is interesting to see how the racing has changed as this track continues to change and evolve. It should make this heat interesting and see if looks like we're starting to see more moves as guys are running up a little bit higher on the track, but we're going green, Phil. I'll throw down to you.
All right, front row there. Cobb to the outside. The number 96 of Clint Porter. We are live racing. Who's it going to be into turn number 1? Looks like it's going to be Porter.
Look at this fight for second. Wide off turn 4 as they head down into turn 1. Give it to the 2, Carson Sylvester. What a move! Up to the second spot, takes it away from the 52. But now they're contact to the 34. They are leading the last heat. This is their last. Well, but it's still exciting. Sylvester continue. Oh my goodness, Blake, that.
Man, that's some incredible 3-wide racing between the 34 and 52. I believe that's the first move we've seen to make that pass for the second transfer spot, but the 34 is still right on the field. And the 34.
Eric Archer having a tremendous spot. His top transfer on. He's got to chase down these 2 drivers in front of us. How about that move for Carson Sylvester? Then number 2, they bold that up takes this car halfway home. Here's heat number 2.
Now the pressure's on for Sylvester to hold on to it. Obviously, he put down a pretty decent lap to get where he is, but he's got a single lap time to get there. The pressure's really on here. It really comes down to the lead. You don't want to wreck a guy, but with a transfer ticket on the line, man, oh man, I don't know, you got to right?
Exactly right there. He's got 5 neck and neck. It looks like the 52 is going to pull up on this car with 1 lap to go. 52 is going to slide a little bit closer to the bottom. He's going to have to go on the high side. He's going to have to throw it into turn number 3. But as he hits the inside wall, it looks like that's going to give it to number 2. Carson Sylvester in this last transfer spot. As it seems like we forgot to mention that that car up there first dominating the scene was Clint Porter in the 96.
Yeah, all the action. Porter going to pick up the win here between race number 7. Carson Sylvester with a great move to finish up that second spot. David Cole, 3rd. Who we got there for 4th position there, as I've heard he lost Eric Arnsdorf there in the number 34. That was your top 4. These guys found one whale of a race. I mean, that was the best heat race action we've seen all night, David. A 3-wide pass for that transfer spot. I mean, if it's anything like what we're seeing here in the heats, think about the B main, brother. That B main is going to be absolutely wild.
Buddy, I'm telling you, the move that Carson Sylvester made to get into second place, wow, absolutely incredible. The 3-wide, he knew what he had to do, and he put the car there, and he made it work. So, my goodness, my hat's off to Carson Sylvester, but this B main is going to be nuts. We got a lot of really fast drivers still trying to fight to get their way into the main event, including the guys like Justin Fuller, who I'm watching this chat box. He's beating himself up for not getting through already. So he's going to be a man on fire in the B main. I'm looking forward to seeing what he and everyone else can do here as we get ready to take on the B main.
Yeah, but thought we were going to have 8 heat races. They condensed them into 7, so these guys are going to have to get their wits about them, and they're going to have to sprinkle the lineups together for the B main. But Todd Stanton, you got your hands full down there tonight. The first time at the controls for FBN, and what a night to make the grand debut in the control tower, buddy. I mean, these, I know you've been clamoring for dirt for quite a while now, and we're seeing it live in a living color, and you got to just be impressed of the racing. The entire program, these guys at Big Show Promotions have put together. This has been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, these guys have done a fantastic job. Big Show Promotions, they've done a fantastic job with the heat races, everything that's gone on. I know it was a late night for me last night trying to get all the controls and everything set up. It's a different story, different from what we're not accustomed to a lot of this, Phil. It really is something way different and out of our league sometimes. But I think we can get that back. It's actually it's a learning experience here in iRacing. I appreciate these guys for letting us broadcast this show. I'm enjoying doing the controls. It's just a lot of work to do down here and try to get you guys everything. So do please bear with us as we do get better each and every week, as we always do here on the Full Velocity Network. And again, thanks to all the sponsors that help these guys out. Big Show Promotions, fantastic job so far. We got 2 B mains coming up and an A main. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to pick this up and who's going to win this evening. There's a lot of good talent here tonight.
Just staggered by the amount of support this race has got. Tremendous amount of cars have come in. Over 50 cars coming to try their hand here. 7 great heat races. I mean, as the track conditions have changed there, guys, I mean, the track has just got a little bit more slick. But what it's done, David, it's really, opened these racing lanes up. We're seeing racing on the high lane, racing the low side, racing the middle side. It's really made for one terrific ride for us. And just knowing the way the anxiety, the anticipation, the competition for those heat races was, now you dangle a spot in the A main, your last chance in the B main. This is going to be an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, I love the racing action that I was seeing there as this track sort of started to change and dry out, and you see this black line start to develop around the racetrack, this very distinct racing groove, but guys are going high, they're going low, and they're sort of running all over the place, and that's the beauty of racing on dirt, is the racing line really does change, and you got to move the car around to put the car in the best place where you're going to get the most grip. So really been fun to watch that. Some guys that have made that work best are the ones that are moving on right now, and the guys that are in the B main are going to have to learn to harness that and leverage it to their advantage, Blake, because if they don't, they're going to be sitting watching the race like the rest of us.
I can't agree with you more there, David. As it's been interesting. I'm not a very experienced dirt racing spectator, I guess, if you could say, and it's been incredible to see how this track change is simulated. That cushion up there has definitely expanded. It's slicked out the bottom of the track, and like you said, it's at the beginning of all these heats we saw a lot of racing on that bottom groove. There wasn't a lot of moving around, but now you see guys making moves on the bottom, as Sylvester did there to get that last transfer spot in that final heat. It looks like guys are starting to find ways all around this racetrack to get around and be fast. So as this track continues to come to life, I think the racing is only going to get better and better. And then we're going to have all these people that have been running up front and somewhat clearing themselves of racing with people. They're going to be forced to be racing with guys that have raced on this track that has changed. They're more familiar with it, and they're running closer times. So as this night goes on, I'm only anticipating watching some of this racing even more and more as the night goes on.
Oh, it's going to be spectacular here. Is Race Control going to set the lineups here for B? We got 2 B mains, 1 and 2. So if you like B main racing, you're going to see it ×2. What an awesome way here. But believe we've, through 7 heat races. So if we do the math, we've put 14 cars through here, through the heat races. I believe we're going to take also, the top 2, maybe 3, going to get that from Race Control as well. What they're going to take as far as cars out of the B main, going to set the stage for a wild 30-lap feature at the legendary 0.38 mile track, Lanier National Speedway. A racetrack that was paved for many, many, many years, closed down in 2011. Now I believe a go-kart facility, and these guys at iRacing scanning the racetrack, putting the dirt field to it, and this been an awesome night for us out here tonight, and we're just having a hell of a time, taking this to the ultimate esport experience, just like we have here live on the Full Velocity Network. Just awaiting their lineups for the B mains to be posted, and all these guys sitting on pit road at the ready, just as we've documented all night long, guys. We're doing this all of what we call a practice type of format, so everybody's going to be sitting on pit road. These guys call them out by numbers, and we get no ticker here tonight, no live standings for us to carry on in race mode. So it's a totally living by the seat of our pants kind of night, and being tested as a crew, being tested as announcers, and hope all you guys out there are enjoying the show live here on the Full Velocity Network. Just a little bit of downtime here is, thank these guys at Big Game Promotions again. Also, all the guys at Speed Shift TV, they've stepped up with a sponsorship here. Liquid Nitro, the sponsor for the weekly racing series put on by Big Show Promotions here. The UMP Modifieds, I believe they're doing a residency at the Lanier Speedway through the next couple of weeks. So a really cool series to come be a part of. You're out there in the iRacing world, look these guys up at Big Show Promotions. This is an awesome event. These guys have done just a phenomenal job, and we're just enjoying every bit of the racing action here tonight. Now with a little bit of downtime between the heat race formats, getting everybody all sorted out and lined up, having to post the lineups here for these B mains. So we're going to have a couple minutes of break in the action, so we get the banter back and forth. But, so far, you got it like so good. What do you think of these heat races so far, David? And what do you think we can anticipate seeing here as we get to these B mains? I think it's about to bring intensity to a whole new level.
Yeah, I mean, the fight for the transfer spot is going to be where we really need to focus on, because that's it. That's either you're in or you're out. So you got to figure out, if you're starting a little bit deeper in this pack, how are you going to pass guys? And that's not something we've seen a whole lot of tonight. So track position is at a premium in any race, but especially tonight on a short track on the dirt like this, without a lot of laps to get it done. You got to be up front, and if you're not, you got to make the passes count if you can. You got to be really aggressive, and you can't be afraid to make contact with a guy. You don't want to go out and wreck somebody, but you got to make that spot. And if you think you're faster than the guy and you get a good run, you got to stick to it. So as this track continues to change, again, that's going to change where these guys are going to run and try and set up these passes. So really, we got to watch and see who's been paying attention and sort of watching the changes that have been coming to the track and using that to their advantage, Blake, to make up these spots. You don't have a lot of time to get it done. When you don't have a lot of time, the pressure's on. Guys get desperate. So desperate times calls for desperate measures, right?
Exactly, and it seems like all of these guys are going to be, again, we're going to see a lot of competitive racing, a lot of guys that have been running around the same lap times here at the Lanier Speedway for most of the night. They're all going to be in this B main fighting each other, so you're going to see a lot of guys that run a lot of these similar lap times are going to be racing side by side, so it's definitely going to make for some good racing here as the B main. It looks like the lineup is being posted here as we speak, and I'll let the admins take control of that and make sure we get everything set here, ready to go for the B main event here tonight.
Yeah, the top three are going to advance out of the B main. Haven't seen, see if I can put the shout out to Todd there, see if he can't give me back channel, but I'm not sure what they've put out for an advertised distance for the B main. I'm going to assume 10 laps, but I'm going to let Todd 12 laps. So I was running 12 laps the distance here for the B main. So 4 more laps, 4 more circuits around for these guys to make up competition, and it's going to be an awesome time here as now lineups going up on the board. So it'll be just about a minute or two before we see all these cars making their way back out onto the speedway, getting all set up in their heat formations. And for the B main, number 1 and top 3 are going to advance. And looking at almost 50 cars in the pit area, we're getting ready to go for some great exciting action. So what do you say, David? Let's dive into the lineup here for B main number 1.
All right, starting up front, it's going to be the 75, Chase Swafford. To his outside is going to be the 36, that's Lidon Pena. Starting inside row 2 is going to be Philip Neese. To his outside is going to be the 54. That is, oops, I just skipped over him. That's going to be Brandon Cruz, monoside.
On the inside of row 3, Brandon Schmidt. Outside row 4, or row 3, that'll be Scott Schroyer. Inside row 4, Matthew Hof. To his outside, Matthew Fizzle. And then next row, Jason Nash. To his outside, Tyler Blankenship. And then rounding out the field is Lyle Sadhoff as we're sending it. Green flag is in the air, and it looks like we got some interesting battles here heating up for that 3rd spot already, as it looks like there's contact coming off the turn number 2.
We got yellow flag condition on the speedway. All that contact, Blake alluded to it. Got to put a caution flag out. These guys are going to re-rack and reset here. Try this thing again. This is a little bit bigger field than we had before, and it's only going to get bigger, but these guys got to figure it out to get racing clean. So we'll reset and get back under green here shortly, Phil.
Absolutely. That the field all reset. Not even sure we got one full lap of racing there on the racetrack there. So I will let these guys get all reset up, and we'll see where, you know, B main number 1 is going to take a 75 of, you know, Swafford there on the pole, the 36 car on the outside. The 36, of course, Leon and Pena going to restart on the outside. Top 3 are going to advance, so we got more position battles to keep an eye on. Believe they may be coming to green flag this time around, so we'll wait for that. It looks like at least one more time around. I believe lights are going to go out this time, so one more time around the 0.38 mile Lanier Speedway, and we'll be back here racing. 12 laps going to be in this. Don't believe we've completed 1 lap yet, so I believe this is going to be a complete restart. Now green flag racing.
All right, yeah, it looks like the 36 got a good launch there off the corner. The 38 is going to be on the inside, and it looks like that's going to be the battle. It's the 54 looking to the outside of the 38 of Philip Neese. He's going to be looking for that transfer spot. The 38 pulls a slide job, tries to stay off of him. They stay side by side as that allows the 5 car. I just skipped over it with all those cars on pit road. It looks like he's going to pull up and try to make it a battle for third.
Put the 38 in P3. That's Philip Neese. That's the 5 tracking them down as they go down into turn 1. These guys are giving it everything they got. We're seeing really quick lap times as they run around the top here. They are in the gas. They are on it. We see a fight for the front, too, as well. The 36 running that lower groove, trying to track down the 75 of Swafford, excuse me there. That's Pena in the 36, making a case to try and win the B main here. B main number 1. As they're continuing around, we should be about halfway through this race now as the fight is on for the 3rd spot. The 38 has it. The 5 wants it.
The 5 is Brandon Smith trying to find running room alongside that 38. The 5 down to the bottom, tries to get back at that gas pedal, can't make it stick there. The 38, you know, back in the line now. Yellow flag on the speedway. Yellow flag, believe 4 laps in out of 12. There, just my calculations, nothing official there. What the lap counter here is, we're just trying to count along the best we can. But saw some good racing action out there. Almost seen, you know, racing action happening up around for the race lead. You know, Pena was giving all it can handle up to the front there, and you know, liking what I'm seeing. A look at these guys so far. Good race going on, and you know, the 75 of Chase Swafford. He started out on the pole. He's going to lead this field back to green flag. We've seen all night long, Blake, that lead car is where you want to be on these short distance races, and looks like Chase Swafford, he's got himself in prime position, trying to just punch his ticket in top 3 advance. We're back under green flag.
Yeah, it looks like the 5 tried to anticipate that start a little bit. He got into the back of the 38, trying to go for that last transfer spot. That's going to get him a little bit, but it looks like we could throw a blanket over the 2nd through 4th place now, as Brandon Schmidt will try to pull up and pass that 38, and with the 54 not far behind.
Yeah, the fight is on here for the transfer spot. Top 3 making through to the finish. We got a really close battle here between the 38 and the 5. Schmidt all over the 38 of these as they're trying to figure it out between the 2 for that transfer spot. It is getting hot and heavy here. They know the laps are winding down. They have no time to waste. And they pile off the backstretch down to turn 3, continuing to whip it around the Lanier Raceway. Really outstanding racing here, but give it to Neese still in the 38. He's holding on to the 3rd spot. Yeah,
but he's got a mirror full of the number 5 of Brandon Smith. Also the 54 is in there as well. We've seen almost 3 wide racing throughout this field. We're kind of keeping our focus toward the top 3. Chase Swafford still has the lead. Pena in the 36 currently 2nd. The race is on for that transfer spot between the number 38 car of Philip Neese, the number 5 of Brandon Smith. Brandon keeps getting that run to the bottom there, Blake, but can't find anything happening there. Every time he tries to, you know, has no desire. It all looks like to even attempt the outside lane. They'll be side by side again. The transfer spot off of 4, almost contact me.
Yeah, it looks like Brandon Schmidt's just not able to get that bite off the corner. He can dive it in there, but with that 38 hanging on his outside, he's not able to use enough of the track to be able to get off of that corner. But he's staying glued to him, though, as it looks like we got about 4 or 5 laps remaining in this heat. Brandon Schmidt still trying to run down that 38 of Philip Neese for the last transfer spot.
Schmidt's going to have to regroup here and make one more run at it if he's going to work his way into the A main. 38 still holding on to it. The 5 trying to close in. He's got to figure out a way to get past him. All his hopes tonight rest on making one good move to get by the 38 of Neese. No change up front. The top 2 stay the same. The battle is on for 3rd. The transfer spot as they work through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, Neese still has it. The 38. Give it to the 5 to the inside. He's making one big swoop at it. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. No, give it to Neese off of 4, the 38.
Philip Neese will make the final transfer spot out of the B main. Chase Swafford going to pick up the win. Leon and Pena going to finish up the second spot, and great run for Philip Neese to 38, holding off a very game Brandon Schmidt in the 5. Brandon going to bring it home fourth, but fourth place is the first one out tonight, guys. Top 3 transfer. We have 17 drivers now punched their ticket to the A main here for 30 laps, but guys, we got 3 more here left to go, so B main number 1 are going to pull onto pit road. We're going to flash out on the racetrack already. B main number 2 has found its way to the racetrack.
All right, these guys are getting formed up here, and we'll get a starting lineup here to you in just a moment. Looks like it's going to be the 88. I'm sorry. That's going to be the, yep. No, they're getting sorted out here. These guys are all over the place. Give me just a moment here to figure out who is where as we get this starting lineup set for B main number 2. Looks like it's going to be the 28, Thomas Carberry, starting on the inside of the front row. To his outside is going to be the 10, Jeremiah Davis, who was very game in his heat race. Inside of row 2 is going to be the 4, that's Tristan Carmen. To his outside is going to be the 023, that's Troy Lent.
Starting on the inside of row 3, that is Chet Williams of the 56 machine. To his outside, it looks like it's going to be Rick Brazel, or it looks like he may be wanting to restart in row 4 for some reason. On the inside, Jerry Bailey will be on the inside of row 4. Behind him will be Justin Fowler, or no, that is not correct. Trying to fumble through these cars on pit road can be a bit of a challenge. Josh Corkwall will be starting behind. To his outside will be the trying to scroll here, 32 of Mark Long. Behind him will be, well, it looks like this lineup here may not be official. It looks like we're having some trouble here, but we're going to go green. We're going to throw it down to this restart.
All right, lights are out. We're going to go green flag racing. Green flag is in the air, and looks like it's hot and heavy out of the gate. Carberry, the number 28 machine, he's going to pull out to a sprint little lead there, David. They're almost 3 wide racing for now for the race lead off of turn 4.
Wow, what great racing action we got here. They are mixing it up big time down into 1-2. Give it to the 4, Tristan Carmen on the inside, coming off turn 2. He's got Jeremiah Davis to his outside, the 10. They're fighting. They're all locked in at this point, so you don't want to make contact. You don't want to take yourself out here. Fight for the second spot. Second and third get in just the same as Jeremiah Davis catches a little bit of the wall going into turn 1. He is under full-time assault now. He's got to look back. He's got Chet Williams in the 56 hot on his heels. Top 3 breaking away just a little bit, but Davis slips up in 3 and 4. That's going to open the door for the 56 of Williams as they work their way through 1 and 2.
It looks like the 10's going to try to pull a slide job, but Chet Williams is going to try to see if he can go on the outside. The 10 is able to maintain his position as the 56 is going to look low. That 56 was loving that side-by-side battle. Yellow flag is out on the speedway. It looks like we're going to have Thomas Carberry restarting first, Tristan Carmen behind him, and Jeremiah Davis holding on to that last transfer spot. Chet Williams, though, he's close behind. It looks like he may be restarting in that outside lane. That may favor him as we looks like we're going to try to finish this heat here. We're about halfway through.
Yeah, about halfway home here in B main number 2. Now, word from race control, guys. So many cars have come into this pit area tonight. We're going to have 3 B mains. They posted a lineup for 3 B mains. So all these guys are going to get an equal fair shake. Going to be an extra wide field here tonight. We get to the feature. This is going to be awesome racing. We get to the feature for 35 laps, but just about halfway home here in B main number 2. Tom Carberry, the 28, with the race lead. Tristan Carmen in the number 4. He is currently second. Third spot there, Jeremiah Davis aboard the number 10. Chet Williams in the 56. That's your top 4. 3 cars are going to transfer. We're going to go back to green flag racing here. This time, like the field in turn number 3. We're set and ready to go.
Yeah, it looks like Jeremiah Davis is going to be peeking to the inside. That's going to allow Chet Williams to get to his outside here as he tries to go for that transfer spot. The 10's going to try to pull a slide job. He successfully pulls it, but with contact. The 56 is not going to be happy about that, as it looks like contact between the 2 is going to bring out the yellow flag here again.
Yeah, yellow flag out on the racetrack. Contact between Jeremiah Davis and Chet Williams, so that's going to really hamper the chances of the 56 to transfer into this A main. And as Blake said, sure, he's probably not a happy race car driver. I don't think he's lost that position, but definitely brought yellow flag on the speedways. There was multiple cars all kind of, thrown into that as well. Mark Long there in the number 32. Those are guys inside the top 5. we got the top 3 highlighted, guys. 3 drivers qualify out of B main number 2, getting set and ready to go. Tom Carberry there, Tristan Carman, the number 4, the 10 of Jeremiah Davis. Those are the 3 drivers that are locked in so far. We're back to green flag racing, David Schildhouse.
Racing resumes, and so does that fight for third place between Chet Williams and Jeremiah Davis. The 10 and the 56 going at it tooth and nail. This is great racing action right here. And again, it's all about the setup on dirt. Where are you going to make this pass work? Looks like we're back under yellow. So yellows breed yellows, as we always see here, and the time for give and take is over. It's all take, no give, and that's why you're seeing these caution flags.
All right, we're going to have a quickie caution there, as David would say. Aggressive goes around, aggressive going around here in B main number 2 is there's just little transfer spots as they go right back to green flag racing, and we've got to change the transfer spot there. Like Chet Williams around Jeremiah Davis put the 56 up to the transfer spot now as they put lap 7 on the board.
Yeah, that quickie yellow looks like it threw the 10 of Jeremiah Davis off guard, but Chet Williams was ready to pounce. He went to the inside and cleared the 10 before getting to turn 1, as it looks like now we got a battle for the lead of this between the 4 and the 28. Carmen is trying to run down Carberry.
We got great battles all over the place, but again, you got to remember, you're locked in if you're in the top 3 right now, so you don't need to be going after making contact, because they're stacking up for the lead off of turn 4. The 4 and the 28 side by side as they dive down into turn 1. Chet Williams watching all this saying, guys, what are we doing here? We got this thing in the bag. Don't mess it up. Jeremiah Davis saying, please, guys, mess it up. I can't get back into the top 3, Phil.
Yeah, what an awesome race here, too. Almost 3 wide racing for the lead. Tristan Carman, the 4, with the lead. Now side by side for that second spot. Chet Williams to the inside of Tom Carberry after turn number 4. I believe that was 2 to go on the line there. 2 to go in B8 number 2.
Yeah, it looks like Chet Williams is going to try to take that second spot away from Carberry, as it looks like the number 4 who made a pass for the lead, he's pulling away. Joe Davis is still trying to get to Chet Williams with all he can. And it looks like coming out of turn number 4, Chet Williams is going to be able to hold on to that third transfer spot. Carberry and Carmen, it looks like those are going to be the guys that are going to take down the win of this heat, as it looks like actually we have about 1 more lap to go here in this heat. The 28 is going to be able to still hang on to second, and it looks like that's going to do it here. Chet Williams is going to hold on to third place. We are getting some different commands from race control, as looks like this race is not over yet.
Yeah,
I think we're finally done here, Phil. I don't know. It's tough to say. They're still under full song. This battle is not ending. So, oh, we got contact. They're around for second place. Oh, this changes everything. It may not have been over, and these guys knew it. They wrecked it going into turn 3. The 28 was around, the 56. Chet Williams was around. That's a sad day for those guys. I don't know what's going on here. This is just going crazy.
Not sure if that was beyond the checkered flag or not. We'll have to get those words from race control, what's going on. If Todd can maybe dial them up on his back channel with these guys and just kind of sort out what's going on. I thought the lap counter we had taken 2 to go about 3 laps prior. These guys stayed in the gas. 12 laps was the distance. I'm kind of confused there, as we're going to try to get these guys. Look like they're getting all stacked up for a restart. So not sure where we're sitting at lap count at this point. We're just going to play this by the seat of our pants. Not sure exactly what's going on there, David.
Oh my goodness. You know, racing green flag or not, I mean, they were giving it their all and they wrecked it up for second place. It's going to be a green white checkered finish here, boys. That's what we're setting up for. But the big losers out of that entire deal is the 28 of Thomas Carberry and the 56 of Chet Williams. I mean, they came out on the wrong side of that one for sure. So we got new players up front. We got, well, Carberry's still in second, so he maintained that. But the big winner is Jeremiah Davis. He's back up to third in that transfer spot as they're getting green. They're hitting each other. Green flag back in the air. It is a 1-lap dasher cash here, Blake.
Yeah, we're going to have a green white checkered here. Jeremiah Davis looks like he was able to pull away from the car behind him. Looked like he tried to jump the restart, that ended up backfiring as he had to check up. And it looks like that's going to clear Jeremiah Davis into that third spot, as it looks like the 32 is going to try to make a last-ditch effort here. 1 lap to go, Phil, here in this heat.
Yeah, looks like 1 lap to go. Tristan Carman looks like he's poised to take down the win in B main number 2. Tom Carberry, the 28, and it looks like it's going to be Jeremiah Davis in the number 10. those will be your 3 cars to transfer out of B main number 2. Spectacular racing. You got to feel bad, though, for Chet Williams in the 56 there. David had himself nestled up there, and, you know, I think we've all been there on the wrong side, being turned out of a transfer spot. I mean, that's just going to make you steam behind that driver's seat. You got to be a hot race car driver right now.
Yeah, on one side of it, you got Chet Williams, who's beside himself right now, who thought he was in this deal, had it in the bag, and was looking good, and then all of a sudden, chaos erupts, contact going into turn 3, and all of a sudden, you got yourself out of the show looking in, and Chet Williams disconnects from the server, not going to have a happy night, and I feel for him because he was very quick, very, very antsy on the racetrack in a good way, and really got it done, but the big winner out of that is Jeremiah Davis. He finds himself moving on, so good for him. Sad for Chet Williams as we are on to the 3rd and final B main. Blake, what's that lineup looking like there up front?
Well, it's looking like Kyle Thompson's going to lead us here to the green flag of this heat. To his outside is going to be David Kalb in the number 52. In his inside of row number 2, that's going to be David Rudolph in the 42 machine. Eric Arnsdorf will be in the 34. And how about you take it from row 3 on back?
All right, we got Michael Dullard in the 15 inside of row 3. To his outside is going to be the 59. That's Brent Licata. Inside row 4 is going to be the 62. That's Jeff Steenbergen. To his outside is going to be the 11. That's Lucas Brenton. We also got the 33 of DJ Robinson. We got the 30 of David Clark. And I think I got everyone there. Did I miss someone? Oh, we got the 53 of Bo Reddy as well. So that's going to be your entire field there. And we got the B main coming up. We also got the 31 of Kent Turnbull in the back there as well. So nice full field here for this B main. But again, all eyes are going to be on that 3rd and final transfer spot. So let's get after it, boys.
Now we're about to get it on, as they would say. Kyle Thompson going to restart there with the lead, or with the restart of the number 90. 12 laps of distance here in B main number 2. We are green flag racing. Let's dumb it down here. 12 more laps, 3 advanced. They're already 3 wide. Blake off of turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like there's a side-by-side battle up here for this number 3 spot. The 15 of Michael Dillard is going to dive it in. He almost gets hit in front of the car behind him. It looks like Kolb and the 90 have kind of tried to set themselves apart here, but that battle for the 3rd transfer spot is definitely on. There's 3 guys that can be in it right now.
I left one name off of that starting lineup, but that's the 60 of David Day, our buddy up here in the booth. Oh, there's big contact through 2, 3, 4. More contact as they go into turn 1. There's cars wrecking everywhere. I imagine they have the yellow flag out by now, but maybe not. They're still racing down 3 and 4.
They certainly still are racing. There is Kyle Thompson able to pull away David Kalb in the 52 car. That's your top 2. The heated battle on the racetrack, Blake, is for that transfer spot, that 3rd position. They are hot and heavy now off of turn number 2. You get about 3 or 4 cars there. They're all racing for one spot. What an awesome race we got here through B main number 3.
Yeah, it looks like David Rudolph's going to take a shot. He almost gets into the 15. He's having to back out of it. That'll allow Eric Arnsdorf to be able to pull up and get to that 4th spot. Because it looks like I hear contact behind me, but I can't see it. We're still on the green flag, but that 15 looks like he's starting to pull away. He may even try to take that 2nd spot from the 52 of David Kalb.
There is so much contact out on this racetrack right now. You think it's an NFL game. They are hitting each other. Body slams might be a WWE event for all we know, but they are racing hot and heavy because they know it's on the line. It's a spot in the A main. And now, finally, maybe mercifully, we have a yellow flag on the speedway for these guys to gather it all back up and go after it one more time, Phil.
Yeah, it's carnage out there. Carnage all around. I feel the carnage in my head right now, too, is just trying to click around and try to find where all the racing action is going on. And right now it is Kyle Thompson and that number 90 with the current race lead. David Kalb with that number 52 second. Transfer spot being held by Michael Dullard in that number 15, but he's got a hungry group of guys behind him. I believe that's Adams there, the white car behind. So it's just a hungry group of cars. And I believe we've only put, if you can believe, I believe that's 4, maybe 5 laps on the board. Really tough to get the lap count here, guys. But the way these guys are doing the race formats for them here through these B mains, the heat races, also the A main, we don't have the benefit of a live standing in front of us, so no lap counter here. So a lap ticker going to be blank for us tonight. We're doing this all on the fly. We appreciate you guys out there in YouTube land sticking with us tonight there. Eric Arnsdorf, the 34. That is your 4th place running car. Going green next time around, and what more can you say? We're going to pay attention to top 3. Blake McCandless, green flag back in the air.
Yeah, that 34 is going to get right after it. He knows this is the time on the restarts to try to get as much positions as he can. It looks like he's going to try to dive it to the insides. It looks like that slick groove has kind of moved up into the middle of the racetrack. He's going to make that bottom a little more of a play here later in the going. He's sticking right on the back of that 15. Can't seem to quite get a move on him, though, as it looks like he's going to try to dive it onto the high side. He may get a run here off of turn number 4.
Yeah, it looks like that, you know, if you can work the outside, you can get a great run off the corner there as we see this fight for 4th place now shaping up between Rudolph and I believe that's the 59 of Licata. More contact, the 42 Sprout sideways, the 59 is up into the wall. He keeps his foot in it. They're still digging. They don't care if they got sides left on these cars or not. They just want to get into the A main. We got a fight for 2nd place on our hands now, and it's really crazy out here, Phil. There's so much racing all over this racetrack, I can barely keep up.
I can't either, but it's Kyle Thompson with a number 90 now past the halfway mark with the lead. The great race is going on right around from that 2nd spot between the 15 of Duller, David Cobb there, the 52. Duller to the inside, Cobb running the outside lane. Nobody giving an inch there. Arnsdorf, the number 34 car right there. Also believe we just heard white flag, so one more time around did be made number 3. Last chance for these guys to qualify. Battle is now for that 3rd spot through 1 and 2.
Eric Arnsdorf's going to be able to come to the line. He pulls the high side. He is able to make a move on the last lap. He's going to be able to get into the main event on a last lap pass coming out at turn number 4. Wow. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting CTE just watching these guys make contact, do a bunch of moves. It is some incredible stuff out here. And guys, I'll tell you what. We haven't even gotten to the A main yet, but man, I'm having a blast watching these guys. What a great move by Eric Arnsdorf to be able to get into the main event.
Well, if you got CTE, does that mean we got to donate your brain to medical research after this? Because I'm telling you, I might line up behind you after watching this display. What a great race that was. Unfortunately, we got some big-name guys that really expected themselves to make it into this main event that didn't make it, including Justin Fuller. Sad day for Justin Fuller. We were counting on him to get in there to give us some good perspective, our buddy up there, but didn't work out that way tonight. David Day didn't make it as well. So what a great finish, though. Some intense racing action. The beating and banging was real. And I think that just sets up for an A main that is going to be out of this world, Phil. I can't wait to see what these guys can do next.
Okay, I just can't wait. 30 laps going to be the distance of the A main. It's going to have 23 cars strong. Top 2 out of what was 7 heat races qualified in. 3 B mains punched their ticket for 9 more drivers, 3 out of each, and that sets up the stage. 23 drivers, 30 laps around, 30 green flag circuits around this .38 mile Lanier National Speedway, a racetrack steep in history. A race for a long time on pavement till it closed down in 2011, and the guys at iRacing thought, you know, this would be a great historic speedway to come back and put some dirt onto and could really make some spectacular pictures. And it really has lived up to the hype here. These UMP modifieds, what a awesome looking race car. They're a lot of them beautifully prepared, great looking paint jobs. They're so authentic to the way the big block modifieds all over the country are running, all up on the bars. And Todd Stanton, you're a guy who's got background. You've been in one of these, you know, wide-bodied modified type cars before. If you simulate what it's like in real life going out there, you know, out there in the iRacing format, you've had some time in these cars. How similar is it to the real thing that we do with the simulation here in iRacing?
Well, I'll tell you, it's pretty darn close. I have to put 2 hands on the steering wheel, and a lot of times I never have to do that in my real car. But I haven't raced anything in this caliber as of yet until maybe this year. But we're going to try that out this season myself personally. But I know they're pretty darn close. The sprint cars in the late models are a little off, but these cars are probably the closest that I've been in to the real dirt cars that have graced many of the tracks over the Northeast, the plains areas, you know, the West, all over the place. You got UMP, you got IMCA, you got all those types of modifieds just like this that run those hard compound tires. And these guys do a fantastic job out there wheeling these things. I tell you what, I have 2 hands on the steering wheel at all times when I'm racing this.
Just watching these guys out on the racetrack tonight, David Schildhouse, we've seen, you know, 7 times 8, so 56 laps of heat racing, 12 times. So we've seen almost 100 laps here at Lanier Speedway in race conditions. I got the steering wheel and man on the desk at all times. I find myself turning the wheel, watching these guys around Lanier. This has just been one awesome show, and I can't wait to see where this A-Main's going to take us here for 30 laps.
I'm telling you, some people that have never been exposed to dirt racing before, once you get your hands on it and you actually go out and do it, it is so addicting. I mean, it's fun. You really feel like you're driving the car. And when you're on asphalt and you have all that grip and everything, not to take away from that and say you're not driving, because you definitely are. But when you're on dirt, it's just a much different sensation. It's a much different connection to the vehicle itself. And it's just a very visceral feeling of being on dirt, being on that sort of out of control but powering down to drive through it sort of approach to everything. And it's just so unique, but it builds such a great skill set when you're able to do it successfully. It's a very rewarding feeling. And Blake, I know you said you haven't done it a whole lot up to this point, but as a guy with a lot of asphalt experience and a little bit of dirt, it's a much different experience, but it is so rewarding, isn't it?
It definitely is rewarding. And again, I'm definitely a beginner here, if you will, on this dirt stuff. I know I surround myself with a lot of teammates that I believe are, expert. You could consider experts here on this dirt style of racing. And, it's really cool to watch. It's really fun to watch. It's a lot different than, the SRA 711 Truck Series race that we'll be running tomorrow night on the asphalt and at the Martinsville Speedway, actually live here on the Full Velocity Network tomorrow night. But it's definitely something that's brand new to me. It's foreign, but man, like you, the racing speaks for itself. It's amazing, and I'm going to go ahead and send it to you, Phil. Here, it looks like we may be getting the lineups as they're rolling in here.
Well, they certainly are. They have called out 3 minutes till they grid, so last preparations are being made on these race cars, and we're going to turn them loose for 30 laps in here tonight. But before we do that, for the first time tonight, as we get ready for feature racing, A-Main style on the dirt at the Lanier Speedway, let's throw this thing trackside and the playing of the national anthem. All right, how about the national anthem times 2 out there? Is video all looping on Todd. Todd's doing a great job on the controls tonight, making his debut. If anybody's followed our archive back for years, known as DRTV, and just in the month of June, our new reincarnation, Joe Allen, Todd Stanton, myself, Phil Lacasse, and make up the Full Velocity Network. You round out the voices of the crew here tonight with David Schildhouse and Blake McCandless, and we have a star-studded affair here tonight, an awesome show being put on by Big Show Promotions, having an awesome race, the UMP Modifieds in the Liquid Nitro Weekly Racing Series, UMP Modified Series here at the Lanier National Speedway. Thank you out there once again to everybody in YouTube land that has tuned in tonight. Viewership has been great. Chat box has been alive. Thank you out there, everybody, for the support. Hope you're enjoying this evening just as much as we are. If we've acclimated to the format these guys have put on here tonight, it has just truly been, just a fly-by-night kind of thing. A little less than 24 hours of race preparation, putting this show on the air. And, big kudos to my longtime broadcast partner for years and years. Todd Stanton and I would share the control, share the announce booth. Our buddy Joe Allen's taking the controls for us here through our reincarnation as the Full Velocity Network. Of course, our old buddy, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, that started our whole creation about 4 years ago with our, previous adventure with DRTV and the DRL network. And now we've come full circle here tonight. Todd doing a fantastic job at the controls for the first time, and hope you guys have enjoyed this show. It was such a quick turnover for us. It really came together last minute. And, I'm so thankful to have Blake and David here alongside tonight. I would surely be lost without these guys. And I know Todd's, had a tremendous, bearing on his hands tonight. A new format, doing this all in a practice mode. We don't get the live ticker. We don't get the standings that we're accustomed to. So it's truly been the four of us out there communicating like a champ behind the scenes here, communicating where the racing action is, trying to communicate our best with race control. It's been an awesome night. So we thank you guys out there for sticking with us. We're a couple minutes away from getting these cars on the grid. 23 drivers here for 30 laps around. Now, something, these are all new names to us, guys, all new format, a whole new way of racing for us. So I hope you three guys that have been here with me tonight have been studying, and Todd's probably going to kill me for this, but we're going to do this anyways. It is time for Full Velocity picks here tonight. Predictions of what driver is going to go to victory lane. We've seen all these guys out here, especially the fast guys, up at the front of these heat races. We've seen how these guys have run. We've seen who's been challenged, who is not. So as the newest member to the team to us here, David Schildhouse, I'm going to put you on the spot first. Who's it going to be? It's going to go to victory lane here in 30 laps around.
All right. Well, I appreciate being put on the spot. I'm one that was not shy about being in the spotlight, I would say. But I'm going to go with a guy that's shown a lot of speed so far already tonight and been very active in our chat box as well. So I'm going to pick him. He drives the number 75 car. He's from the Mid-South, and his name is Chase Swafford. I'm going with Chase. Chase, Chase, Chase. Let's go, Chase.
Well, got to be better than Chase Elliott for sure. He's definitely shown the muscle here tonight in that 75. Blake, you're next up in line. We've studied these guys all night long. Who do you think's going to victory lane here?
Well, Phil, I got to tell you, it's kind of hard to choose between some of these guys. A lot of these guys led their heats and were relatively unchallenged the entire time they were running. And a lot of these lap times that were put down, these 13.9s and these low 14s, they were put down when this track looked completely different than it is now. So I may be taking a shot in the dark here, but I think I'm just going to go with the fastest time I see on the board, and that's the 1:38 of Tyler Walton. I'm picking Tyler Walton to be in victory lane here at Lanier.
Yeah, and these guys have been putting down, quick times all night long. But all these times really, were put up through the opening rounds of practice as this, racetrack has undergone changes in the last almost 3 hours, or 2+ hours that we've been out here with cars on, on this racing surface. But looking up down, I'll make my pick next. I'll let Todd go last because he's definitely been the guy working the most here today behind the scenes, getting us up and running. So I'm going to look up and down the list here. Of course, you got to pay attention to those top names here. Who's the fastest? I like the look of the number 1 car of Neil Adamczyk. I think he had the cleanest looking of the heat races. Don't think he was challenged too much. I think the front row, I think Tyler Walton's a great pick. I think even that 112 of Kelvin Harper could be a good pick. But I like the way the 1 car look in the heat. You fly that in 1 plate, you've got to be fast. My pick's going to be Neil Adamczyk to go to victory lane. So I got Neil, Tyler Walton from Blake there, Todd, and David took Chase Swafford. So I'm going to give you the field, Todd. If you pick a name out of the hat, who's going to go to victory lane here in 30 laps if we get the A main underway?
Well, I was going to pick. I think you read my mind. Neil Adamczak. I've raced many of races with him on the limited late model side of things when it first started going, and I always had a good competition with Neil Adamczak. But you kind of read my mind with that one. But I'm going to go with, I believe, the number 27 out there on the Speedway, and he's going to be Brian Cooper. And I'm going to go with, I believe he's out there. I believe I'm going to go with him. And hopefully I didn't make a pick and he's not going to be out there on the Speedway. But if not, it was a close call between him and Bobby Rafferty. So, I mean, you picked and read my mind, Phil, with that number 1 plate. That's pretty amazing here tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go for 30 laps. The A main for the Liquid Nitro Weekly Racing Series, bidding by Big Show Promotions. You wanted the ultimate esport experience. You wanted the sound waves of soundtrack of sim racing, the Maximum Impact Showcase, which is right here, live on the Full Velocity Network. 30 laps around for the UMP Modifieds. David Schildhouse, without further ado, let's dive into our starting lineup.
All right, it is time for the Big Show with the Big Show Promotions here at Lanier. Starting on the pole, it's the number 50. That's Skylar Brown. To his outside, that is going to be the 7. That is Bobby Rafferty. Inside row 2 is the 1, Neil Adamczak. To his outside, the 29. That's Brett Bartles. Inside row 3, that is the 112, Kelvin Harper. To his outside, the 92. Why don't I see the 92? That's not a good thing to have happen. I think that's a typo there outside of row 3. But we'll move on to the inside of row 4, the 37, Virgil Graham. To his outside, that is the 9, Brandon Blaylock. And starting inside row number 5, the 27, that's Brian Cooper. To his outside, that's the 46, that is Matt Martin.
I'll pick it up from here. It looks like it starting on the inside of row number 6, that's going to be the 14 of Cam Taylor. Starting to his outside, that'll be the 68 of Ronald Pies. Inside of row 7, we got the number 2 of Carson Sylvester, a guy that ended up making a bold move, finishing second in one of those heat races earlier tonight. To his outside will be Chase Swafford, another front finisher in one of our heats. To the inside of row number 8, Leo Dan Pina, the only Carolina Club member out there, so I'll be rooting a little bit for him as well. To his outside, the 38, Philip Neese. Starting on the inside of row number 9, or 8, I think it's Tristan Carman. And to his outside, the number 28, that'll be Thomas Carberry. And then the number 10 of Jeremiah Davis and the number 90 of, looks like, Kyle Thompson will be behind him. And pulling up the rear of the field, the 52 of David Kolb. And to his outside, the 34 of Eric Arnsdorf. That'll round out the field here for the A main event.
And let me pick up where I left off outside of row 3. That's going to be the 96, Clint Porter, starting outside row number 3, Phil.
All right, Clint Porter, the 96. I think he was one of the heat race winners here a little while ago, so we'll get these guys all reset. 30 laps around the Lanier National Speedway, dirt style here tonight. We look to the front row. I wish we had Todd up here on the home here tonight. You've been my broadcast partner for a long time. But the 50, the 7, the 1, the 29, that's going to be your top 2 rows. Waiting, believe next time around we may get to say, look at the 4 wide salute, as only we can do. Big Show Productions, you wanted the best here tonight. You have the ultimate esport experience, the Full Velocity Network. Phil Lacasse, Todd Stanton, David Schildhouse, Blake McCandless on the call here this evening. We are 4 wide. We are ready to go. 30 laps around the Lanier Speedway. Everybody out there, the fans are being saluted. We salute you out there for all the support on YouTube, and we're going to let these guys sort it back into line. A 4 wide salute, as only we can do here on the dirt, and just a great job by these guys. Great show of support. 23 drivers strong to take the green flag. I've seen the 4 wide salute in person before, Blake, but I've never seen it in the iRacing Dirt Sim. This is absolutely outstanding.
Well, it looks outstanding. I just hope it looks like this when we take the green. And I guess I'd want to take the time right now to thank all you guys out there. I'm sure as these guys are saluting you, we also salute you for tuning in tonight and tuning in with us here at the Full Velocity Network, as it looks like these guys are going to go double file and see if they can't get going green here shortly.
Green flag is in the air. The 50th Brown is down and away. Oh, no, maybe not. I might have spoke too soon. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. They're getting it all
David's
sorted
excited
out here. I'm ready to get going. 30 laps around here. That's going to fly by if we can keep it green. They're now sorted double file. 50 Brown getting the field back under control as they go down in turn 3. Phil, I'll give you the call. The loud pedal's about to go down.
Well, we can't do a dirt race on the Full Velocity Network. For years and years, I've had my broadcast partner, Todd Stanton, alongside. Todd, you have a way of doing these dirt shows. I'm going to throw it to you. Give us a send-off.
As we're getting ready to go, green flag racing here at the Lanier Speedway. The guys, awesome 4 wide salute out here for the fans out there in YouTube chat box. I cannot believe the momentum and everything that's been going on here. What the visor, tighten the 5-point harness. Grandpa, take a Viagra pill because it's time to get it on. We're going to go racing here at the Lanier Speedway and going to go green flag. Who's it going to be?
Man, we are getting some mixed signals here from race control as it seems like they have thrown off the green flag here for one more lap.
That wasn't
You know, they say those Viagras are good for about 4 hours, Grandpa, so we might be okay for one more lap. Todd, I'll give it back to you. Let's do it again one more time.
As we're getting ready to go, green flag racing, wet the visor, tighten that 5-point harness. Grandpa, take a Viagra pill, time number 2, 2 times. Green flag's in the air, loud pedal is down. These guys dropping the nose down into corner number 1.
Green flag out in the air. These guys coming off of turn number 4. Already 1 lap on the board. 30 laps around this place. Is going to fly by in a blink. 50 car out to the racing. You guys are stacking up 2 and 3 wide. Tons of contact there as they complete lap number 2.
It looks like the yellow flag is out on the speedway, and already on lap number 1, Aggressive has gone around. Yes, I said it. It's only been lap number 1 at a turn number 4. But yes, Aggressive has gone around. A huge stack up there. Looks like they were 3 wide all the way through the field, and there's just really nothing you can do when you're digging that hard on the high side, and it looks like some people were getting into each other. Don't have the luxury of pulling it up here on the replay very often, but we're trying to bring it to you as best as we can.
Oh, absolutely. Todd got his hands full down there in the controls tonight. Things happen so fast up there. Usually we're ready with a full velocity rewind. Show us what happened on the replay, but we're going to get right back to green flag racing. Skylar Brown, Neil Adamczyk, Bobby Rafferty, Brian Bartles, Kelvin Harper, Clint Porter, Brandon Blaylock, Matt Martin, Brian Cooper, Ronald Piles. That's going to be your top 10 here. Believe we've put 1 official lap on the board. Believe we've got a whole 1, maybe 2 laps of green flag there. Have to wait for race control to give us an official lap count, but we look back up to the front of the field as we reset. Skylar Brown's going to choose the inside lane. Looks like guys are ready to go green flag racing next time around.
Well, I was looking back at the incident. It looked like it was just a big bottle up coming through 3 and 4. It looked like the 29 of Brett Bartles and the 7 of Bobby Rafferty got together. The 29 was a little bit out of shape. Just sort of stacked everybody up, but no harm, no foul. They're still stacked up here. 2 by 2 as we get ready for the green flag to go back in the air here at Lanier Speedway. Green flag back in the air, 50 rounds down and away. 70 hot in this track with 1 on the inside trying to make that pass for 2nd place, Blake.
Yeah, it looks like that number 1 car of Neil Adamczyk, one of your picks to win this race. He's going to put out of the inside here. That 7's going to use that momentum here on the top side. He's going to get the momentum and become clear as we enter into turn number 1. Skylar Brown is still leading, but it looks like that 7's willing to challenge, as it looks like that slide job. The 50 slides in front. The 70's going to dive it way deep into turn number 1. It's going to stick. He's going to take the lead, but it looks like Bobby Rafferty has taken the lead as the yellow flag is out on the speedway.
Bobby Rafferty did indeed make that move. There was contact about 3rd place on back. Multiple cars got all caught up on that. Looks like Neil Adamczyk there in the number 1 may have been caught up. Multiple other cars all involved. Not sure if we can go back and just give a glimpse of what cars may have been involved there. I don't think we're just going to get the replay, but sounds like the one of Neil Adamczyk definitely got the worst end of that. Hard contact, the outside wall. That car, David, sounds like it's absolutely destroyed there. My pick to win, well, I guess I brought the black cloud to Lanier here tonight. Neil Adamczyk's night. Looks like it's going up in smoke here in the opening lap of this race.
Well, it may not be too bad off. I don't know. I saw him all kinds of sideways, and he hit the wall. It's hard to tell with these cars how damaged they may be, but he seems to be okay. He slotted in the inside of row 2, so we'll see when they get back underway. But I think we can already tell through 2 iterations of Green Flag Racing, there's just going to be a lot of contact. These guys are getting after it. They are just not giving it an inch, and they're taking everything they can. It's a good old slobber knocker out here at Lanier Speedway, and I love it on the dirt.
Oh, absolutely. I guess the one of Adamsick was not called as part of the initial yellow flag, so they'll give Neil back his spot there. He'll restart inside of row 2, so now the question is, Blake, how much damage was sustained in that race car? That thing hit the outside wall a ton, and if you break a right front, maybe a right rear of one of these cars, it can ruin your night. You wonder how ill-handling that one car is going to be through the duration of this feature.
Yeah, it looks like it has some visual damage on the right rear. It may not be catastrophic, but we won't really be sure about how bad it is until we get going back to the green flag here. But it looks like early on, we have the most cars we've seen out here all night, and it looks like they are not waiting one lap to get going here. They're going to start being aggressive here right from the start.
Green flag back in the air. The 50 of Brown's away again. He's been great on these restarts so far. 7 doing everything he can to keep up with him, but we got more carnage in turns 1 and 2. Down to the inside, all those boys are trying to take down the inside wall. I don't know, we got cars flipped over. Flip count might be at 1 or 2 at this point, but they're still under green. Now they're under yellow. We got a car stopped on the inside of 1 and 2, Phil. There's just carnage everywhere.
Now, it looked like a 27 may have ended up on his roof. I believe that may be Brian Cooper, I believe unofficially in the 27. That was Todd's pick, so right away, 2 of our picks, literally Todd's going just upside on his lid. So tough break for Brian Cooper here. I mean, just seeing the way these guys are diving down into turn 1, I mean, you can look and see almost 3-4 wide racing right there back outside the 3rd position. I mean, it's a wide racetrack, David Schildhouse. So the way this track is slickened up over close now to almost 2.5 hours of under racing conditions for these guys, racetrack completely different. There may be grip everywhere, but racetrack, the groups are only so big, you're going to eventually run out of racetrack.
Phil, I'm telling you, this racetrack could be 80 feet wide, and these boys would try and find each other to hit one another. It seems like, I mean, yeah, the groove has really widened out here, and I mean, space is at a premium, but all these guys are still trying to use that inside to get underneath the guy. You're not going to be able to get away from contact unless you're the guy out front. But even still, we've seen contact up front, so I don't know. I think it's just going to be that way, and we'll run under yellow for a while, and these guys will get it sorted out. But Blake, I think you got the replay and you saw what went wrong. I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, it looks like on that restart, the 96 of Clint Porter got turned around. He got into the 27, and it looks like the 14 also piled in as well. Brian Cooper there in the 27 was pushed up against the inside wall. It looks like it got his tires out of line or something. He had no control of that thing as he went across the track, was trying to get it going back straight, and couldn't help when the 138 just decided to run him over. Tyler Walton, also my pick, also involved in that wreck, so maybe we shouldn't pick people anymore. And it looks like the green flag is about to come back out, and they're going green here at Lanier.
Green flag at Lanier Raceway. The 50 of Skylar Brown leads him back to the restart. Battle is for that 2nd spot. Neil Adams to the low side of Bobby Rafferty. Side by side for David Schildhouse. 2 side by side for that 2nd spot in turn 1.
Oh, we got more contact for 3rd. That's 29 threw it in there big. He's letting the big red dog machine beating up that one car. The one car seems to be okay despite the contact earlier in the race. It gets a good run, but he's eating the wall off down the front stretch. I'm telling you, you get close to that front stretch wall, the back stretch wall, it will send you up and over, ramping like Martin Truex Jr. at Richmond, boys. I'm telling you, that 29 is doing everything he can to get by the 1, but so far, it is all Skylar Brown in the 50 out front. We got more contact off turn 4. Blake, these guys are racing all over the place. We got cones flying, we got cars flying. This is great.
Yeah, it looks like Brett Bartles looks like he pushed up into Kevin Harper there. They'll keep it going, though. So 29 is still losing spots on the bottom side as the caution's out. And even as the caution comes out, that 29 is reminding the 112 you may not be happy with them. And then we got cars around after the yellow. Man, there is no shortage of action here tonight.
Oh, it is happening all over the 0.38 mile Lanier National Raceway here tonight. These guys are just, all over this place. There's racing action all over the place. It's so fast, it's so hard for us to keep up with. We saw contact to bring out the yellow flag. We saw contact, looking like on the 112, not happy with the 1 car there, coming to that caution flag, and then extracurricular activity. Cars pointed in the wrong direction under the caution flag. I probably have, 2 of the most energetic guys up here in the booth here. Hungry, excited young announcers. you know, I've done this for years now, but these guys, you know, just on the ball tonight, you know, cutting your teeth doing this. And I mean, as excited as we all are, guys, we're having a hard enough time keeping up with it. But as I say that, they've thrown the call in for green next time around. So what do you say, David? Let's turn them loose again. I don't even know what lap we're on. I think we got 3 laps of green flag racing in this far.
I'm not even counting laps at this point. I'm just going to keep watching until they're all flipped over on fire or parked in the garage. This is great racing action. At this rate, I'm not going to have a voice left by the time we get to 30 green flag laps, let alone all the yellow flag laps we got in between. But, you know, we'll talk about the racing up front. So it looks like the 50 of Brown is just, he is in the catbird seat. He is loving life out front right now. Basically, his only worry is the 7 of Rafferty, who's doing everything he can to keep up with him, but so far he hasn't been able to make a move to vie for the lead. So it's really up to the 7 to try and figure something out. But the 50 is really showing the way and running a great race so far. I don't think any of us picked the 50, so shame on us for not picking the pole sitter.
Well, it's just the many things we do wrong over the years. Skylar Brown going to lead up the green flag back in the air. They'll sprint off the turn number 1. Rafferty going to run the outside. Adamsick to the low side with 29 of Bartles there. Brian Bartles, he's going to try to fill the gap there. He's running forward. Boy, into the inside of Adamsick now off of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is starting to move up to that high side. As that 112 of Bartles is going to get into the 29 slight contact. They've had a little bit of history here in this race already. That 1 is going to make it 3 wide on the top side. It looks like you got to go to the top side if you want to move anywhere right now. Brown is still leading them, but Rafferty is following close behind.
Yeah, high side is the best side right now. Nobody wants to have their tires in that black grip line around the bottom. They're all up in the dirt where you can make that traction. They're experts at hanging that right rear tire right in the groove, running that cushion up there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get even closer. You see that real dark line up along the wall. That thing starts to lighten up a little bit. We'll see him even run up there, but so far it's still Brown out front. It's going to be the 7 of Rafferty in second. Adamsick still holding down third, but the fight is on for third. They're almost 3 wide with the 29 of Bartles off of turn number 2 there as they work their way through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm riding along with the 112 of Hartford there in the number 112. He's right there riding in that 5th spot, trying to make running around Bartles. He's on the inside lane to just an absolute, you know, crazy clip there with 29 of Bartles running the outside lane. He has pressured that 1 car for lap after lap after lap. Guys are so close together. I'm not sure how these guys do it. We certainly got the best talent in the iRacing Dirt and the UMP Modifieds right here at Big Show Promotions here tonight. The field off of turn number 4, still all chasing Skylar Brown toward turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like Brett Bartles, he's been getting a little impatient with that 1 car as he's starting to pull away. Bartles riding in that 4th position. He's got that 112 of Kelvin Harper trying to challenge from behind, but it seems like Harper's going to have to make something happen. Nobody wants to go to that bottom. He's going to swing it into there to the bottom. And it looks like he's going to pull a successful slide job on Bartles as put him in front of Bartles as Bartles looks like once again he's going to try the slide job again, successful with contact. Man, that 29 has hit everything but the pace car tonight. But man, what an exciting battle is now. He's going to make it 3 wide with the 1. Some incredible racing here at Lanier.
That is outstanding dirt racing being done at the highest level between those two. Slide job for slide job. I love it. You're going to slide job me. I'm going to get you back in the next corner and show you what's up. As the 1 gets up in the wall just a little bit, allowing the 29 to peek to the inside. What a great race we have right now with the 3rd spot. 3 cars going hot and heavy. 29 trying to one more time up underneath the 1. Puts him up in the fence a little bit. Get the 3rd spot to the 29 as now the fight is on for 4th behind him. Oh my goodness, look at this racing action. These boys are going hot and heavy. They're giving each other a little bit of room, but not any more than they absolutely have to, Phil. You couldn't fit a sheet of paper between some of these guys.
No, Adamsick's bounced off the wall a couple laps there on the 1. Kelvin Harper, the 112, running the low side. He's trying to make that move a couple of times. Saw a terrific slide job between him and 29 of Brett Bartles. Brett's going to pull away. He's trying to chase down Bobby Rafferty for second. In the meanwhile, it's that number 50 of Skylar Brown. He has almost checked out from his field plate. Call that about 8 car lengths, and it's expanding as they hit turn 2.
Yeah, it's expanding a great deal as these cars still are battling for 3rd and 4th. It looks like the number 1, the 1 and the 112 are side by side here for that 5th spot. Harper, it looks like Harper will be on the outside of Adamsick, who looks like his damage isn't really hindering his run thus far. But it looks like that high side is still dominant as Kelvin Harper will be able to make it and get into that 4th spot. Man, these guys are having some exciting action, but it looks like that high line is going to be the prevailing line here moving forward.
It's one of the most popular phrases in the sim racing community, but we are seeing it on full display here tonight. You just gotta send it! Huge sends by these guys as they go into these corners to make positions up on their competition. We've seen it just time after time here, slide job after slide job with a huge send on the inside by these guys, and it takes a lot of skill to do that, but you gotta work together. As weird as that sounds with the competition, you have to work together so you don't make contact, but sometimes you don't want to give that guy the slide up and you run right to the back of him and say, hey buddy, I did not like that move one bit, but things seem to sort of stable off here, get between the 50 and the 7 up front, but the fight is on for the third, and we got Harper fighting to the inside. The 7 runs up to the wall. As soon as I say that, we got contact! Off turn 2, 29's around, the 7's into him. We got carnage on the backstretch.
Carnage in the back straightaway, racing for that second spot there. Don't believe the call has been made. Yet, no caution flag from race control. Have not heard the caution. I was following back a racing further back than that. Great racing going on between Virgil Graham, the 37, and the 96 of Clint Porter. That was racing for about that 7th spot. That may have improved position now with the contact of those guys. Now, race control has decided in the better part of safety, we're going to put the caution flag on the speedway. And whew, I don't know about you guys. This is exciting. I'm absolutely exhausted, man. We're probably just halfway home on this thing.
Well, it looks like we've had some action after the caution. It looks like that number 9 machine had just tagged 2 of our drivers after the yellow came out. That's Brandon Blaylock. Looks like he got into the back of the 29, and it looks like about the 46 of Matt Martin. There was some contact after the yellow too. So man, there is not a dull moment on this track right now.
I don't know if it was coming off of turn 2 there where the initial contact started, if the 29 was just trying to clear himself off turn 2 with the 7 on his outside, or just didn't know the 7 was there with a run. But that's where the initial chaos ensued, and it was on from there down the backstretch. Just a crazy sequence right there, but really just intense racing between those guys, the 29 and the 7. 7 was running second most of this event. Now we got a new player up front there, and Harper in second place behind Brown. So Brown's got a new guy to worry about. And I think Harper, who set one of the fastest times in hot laps earlier in this event, I think that's a really serious threat for the lead there, Phil.
Well, that 112, definitely a fast car. Keep an eye on Kelvin Harper there. Another car that started to march his way forward, now into the top 5 with that contact. The number 46 of Matt Martin, he's found his way up to 5th behind the 96 of Clint Porter. They give us a dark horse in these closing laps. The number 46 of Matt Martin, he's had a tremendous run here tonight, was inside the top 10 with that multiple car incident. He's now going to restart in about that 5th position as we're still awaiting 1 to go from race control. Single file restart. We're going to await, hopefully, green flag racing next time around. These guys with the action they've got here tonight, they got a lot to sort out under one of these caution flags.
Yeah, it looks like there's just a lot of new faces kind of move up through the field, and it looks like some of these guys have cleaner cars than a lot of guys that are moving up here. Of course, the 50 out front seems like he's got the cleanest car out here. Skylar Brown is just teaching a clinic out here, has relatively gone unchallenged for the lead, but we got some newcomers up here to the front. You got guys like Tristan Carman, whose car is completely spotless. He's moved up in position, and then you got right behind him the likes of Kyle Thompson, Carson Sylvester, who made a move in our heat earlier today. So it looks like you got guys that are starting to move up as some of these guys are getting mired in some contact and getting damage to their vehicles. So, you know, as Skylar Brown is moving up, it seems like some of these other guys in the back are starting to pass up, and they have some clean cars, Phil.
Yeah, they certainly do. Awaiting restart conditions here. Kyle, looks like out of the 50, Skylar Brown will restart with the lead. Kelvin Harper there in that 2nd spot. Neil Adamsick 3rd in that number 1. Up in the 4th spot, we find Clint Porter. 5th, Matt Martin. 6th, we find Brett Bartles. Brandon Blaylock 7th. Tristan Carman is 8th. Carson Sylvester 9th. Kyle Thompson's going to be running in our top 10. Brian Cooper 11th. David Kalb is 12th. Leo Pena 13th. Tom Carberry 14th. Philip Neese currently 15th. Chase Swafford mired way back. He's 16th. Tyler Walton 17th. Eric Arnsdorf 18th. Jeremiah Davis 19th. Virgil Green, he's mired back in 20th. As we're awaiting a restart here, guys, we have 20 of the 23 drivers left still on the racetrack. We're awaiting more green flag racing. I can't wait to see where the second half of this race is going. It's been wild. We've seen some textbook slide job maneuvers. Just the top of the iRacing dirt community on full display here at Lanier tonight there, David.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. I mean, a slide job is not an easy thing to do. Guys try to do it on asphalt with varying degrees of success. We saw it in the Xfinity race in Kansas between Eric Jones and Christopher Bell, and that kind of worked out okay. But we are back under green, 50 Brown down on the gas pedal. We got to fight for the 4th spot as they head down in turn 1. I'm really interested to see how this all shakes out. Clint Porter underneath one of Adamsick. He's on the attack. We're looking for 3rd as they go into turn 3. As the 112 of Harper now starts to stalk the 50 of Brown. Let's see how this shakes out for Blake, but I think the 112 of Harper's got a really good piece under him. I think he's going to make a real serious challenge for Lillian.
Yeah, it looks like the 112 is moving up there. It's the 46 of Port and the 96 of Porter, my bad, and the 46 of Martin getting in a close battle. There's that 29 of Brett Bartles who's still out there, and we've seen him pull several tough slide jobs tonight. It looks like the 46 is going to make some contact with the 9 of Brandon Blaylock. It looks like the 46 is going to get turned to 29's around, but they save it. We're going to keep it in green flag conditions as they're still hitting each other on the straightaway. But man, there's some great battles up here for 5th. But yes, that 112 is definitely pulling up, applying the first pressure of the night to Skylar Brown up there in the 2nd spot.
Oh, he certainly is. Skylar Brown is relatively unchallenged at this point. Kelvin Harper is there, the 112. Neil Adamsick, the 1. They are not letting him get away whatsoever. Looks like top 4 have pulled away. I believe that's also Clint Porter of the 96. It is the 96 of Clint Porter. The top 4 have pulled away, but the best race right there is that 3rd spot, David. Porter down low, Adamsick up high. Looks like the outside lane here because he's tracking his step change. They are absolutely digging up there.
It's really the predominant place to be, but if you're going to make a move, it's going to have to be on the bottom because all these guys will run around the top. That's where the most grip is. So if you're feeling like a superhero, you're going to throw it down to the bottom to try and make that move work, and it may be a slide job, maybe just hooking that left front right on the wall there. A lot of these guys try to do that.
There's a big wreck on the thing.
We got cars flying. Oh my goodness, we got cars everywhere.
The 90's flying. The 34 is spun around. We got carnage here in turn number 3 and turn number 4.
Carnage on the racetrack. It's a parking lot off of turn number 4. There are cars just skewed and torn up everywhere, turned the wrong direction, cars up in the air. I mean, it's just what you expect from a great dirt race we've had here. Close racing action. Looks like it all started around where the 2 of Carson Sylvester is, so that's going to put, stuff out on the racetrack. But, man, what more can you ask for? I want to see if I can't get unofficial a lap count from these guys, see where we sit up on the grid. But I don't know about you, but if it can get any more exciting here in these closing laps, I mean, could it ever?
Man, I tell you what, I'm just running out of breath just calling this action. There's a lot going on this track, having to watch the front and the back and all this carnage going on around everybody. But man, we'll see if we can get a lap count here soon. Looks like everybody's pitting right now, so we'll get a word on where everybody's running.
This thing might be over, guys. I see a lot of guys pulling to pit road. I think this race is over. I think you give the win to the 50 of Brown. Skylar Brown, I think, is your winner here tonight at the Lanier Speedway, and well earned. I think he led this thing wire to wire, mainly unchallenged as well. So congratulations, Skylar Brown, on the win. Oh my goodness, what an event we just had, Phil. I wish they went another 100 laps. That was great.
Well, that was certainly outstanding. Congratulations to Skylar Brown, the number 50. One of those things, you start up in the front, you can almost maintain completely unchallenged, and he was able to hold off a really game Kelvin Harper in the closing laps. Neil Adams are going to end up in the top 3 here tonight. Unfortunately, guys, what we normally do here on the Full Velocity Network, we usually we'll interview our top 3, have a winner's interview, but the downside is it's iRacing here tonight. Guys coming from everywhere. We don't have communication with, all these guys out there. So, we can only recap the great racing action we saw. Over 50 cars try to enter, 7 heat races, 3 B mains, and a wonderful 30-lap feature with 23 of the best iRacers out there on this dirt with the UMP modifieds at the Lanier Speedway. And Blake Michaelis, I'm so thankful to these guys over here at Big Show Productions for having us over here, and congratulations to Skylar Brown, man. That was an awesome race. Let it wire to wire there in the feature. Sometimes clean air is where you want to be, and it certainly paid off of that 50 car.
Absolutely. We've been trying our best up here in the booth to bring the action to you, and just thankful for these guys for allowing us to come over and have a great time doing something that's a little bit out of our realm here on the dirt. And a great clinic put on by Skylar Brown. He led the whole A main event, and he showed why he is very deserving of a win here. He had a clean track in front of him, and he did the best with what he had to do, and he's your winner tonight, and deservingly so.
Well, David Schildhouse, what do you think, man? It was an awesome night here on the dirt. I know we were excited. I'm still excited. What an awesome race we just saw. I could probably do another 100 laps of that. That was a whole lot of fun. Big kudos to these guys at Big Show Productions for bringing us out here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as we said about trying to get caught up and going by the seat of our pants and everything that came around last minute, I mean, my hat's off to the racing organization, and what a blast this was. This was so much fun. I'm out of breath. I'm exhausted. I'm almost glad that it wasn't longer than it was, because there was so much action everywhere you looked around this racetrack. These guys were slinging it in, slide jobbing, beating, banging, everything you could ask for. It doesn't get better than this when it comes to dirt racing. That was outstanding. So I'm really pleased with everything that we saw. I hope the fans out there on YouTube really enjoyed what they saw. I don't know how they couldn't. If you didn't like what you just saw, you got to get your pulse checked, because you might be dead. That was incredible. So my hat's off to all these guys. Outstanding job. I can't wait to see them do it again.
Oh, absolutely right. And Todd Stanton, I mean, we've been clamoring to have, the awesome runs on the dirt here we've been seeing. We've been wanting to see these guys doing more and more on dirt, and you got to be happy with the product these guys have saw here tonight. And big thanks to Brett and Tyler from Big Show Productions for getting us out here this evening, Todd. I hope you had some fun down there. First time at the controls, but watching it back so far, you did a hell of a job.
Yeah, first time, made a few mistakes, few errors, but it's only going to get better. We're the Full Velocity Network. We'll get better as time goes on and controls come to us, and we have more new bells and whistles for next week already in store. Now that we'll have a little bit of time, this came in a very, very, very short time here tonight. You got to thank Big Show Promotions. Tyler and Brett, those guys, fantastic job giving me information all day and giving me information here tonight to go by. And you guys did a fantastic job up in the booth. It's really nice to hear you guys call a race. I wanted to be right alongside you guys, but I had my hands full down here tonight.
Well, Todd, I think you'll get the chance to call that racing action back on the airwaves of the Full Velocity Network tomorrow night. Back over to the NR2-on-3 community, the SRA 711 Super Truck Series at the Martinsville Speedway, and also the big main event coming up this coming weekend, Sunday night. Back to the FTF Jones Cup Series there, back at the Martinsville Speedway, starting off the SRA Round of 8 for the FTF Jones Cup Series. Our full schedule located at our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com. Book your date now. We would love to have you showcase all the great racing going on. But thank you once again to all you guys out there in YouTube land here tonight. The guys at Big Show Productions. An awesome night we've had indeed with all you guys. And I think we're going to try to get, one interview from these guys before we get off the air. I believe we're going to get Tyler Summerlin on the air here. Tyler,
was moved
of
to
course,
your channel.
one of the big wigs over at Big Show Promotions. Tyler, it's Phil from Full Velocity Network, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Tyler, once again, on behalf of all of us at Full Velocity, thanks for having us here this evening. You guys put on one hell of a race here tonight, man. I mean, I don't know how long you guys have been around doing this on the dirt. I know the UMP mod's kind of new. I know dirt hasn't been around really long in iRacing, but what a hell of a job you guys done, man. This is an awesome show you guys have put on.
Yeah, this is it was wild. I can say that. This is the first time we've ever put together an organized deal like this and ran for points. We've tried out this format before in like just a regular hosted lobby with a bunch of random guys, and it's worked out before. I mean, it still has its kinks. It's got things that we need to work on, and that's going to be with every new league. I think the way tonight went, it went pretty smooth, for it to be our first night out and have this huge of a crowd. I'm really impressed with pretty much everybody that showed up. They showed up and they knew what we was up against, being our time issue, and they drove with their head on straight, and everybody did a good job not running everybody over. We had a couple cases of guys getting a little bit antsy, but other than that, I think as long as we work on a couple of things, we'll have a pretty good league here.
Well, Tyler, on behalf of all of us here at the Full Velocity Network. We thank you so much for allowing us to showcase this. You guys really put on one heck of a race for us here tonight. And, while we got you up here in the booth one more time, first time, of course, get to talk to you. Take a second out there to promote your league. Where can guys find you if they want to come race in this great series? I mean, this looked like a lot of fun. It was really cool to call up here in the booth. I'm sure the guys on the racetrack, you guys had to have had a blast putting this on.
Yeah, it was a job, I can tell you. But if you guys want to race with us more, you can find us on Facebook at the little @ symbol, Big Show Promos, all one word, or just search for the name Big Show Promotions in the search bar. We're gonna have a huge modified show. I'm sure you guys talked about it a little bit. I didn't get to watch much of the broadcasts, but we're gonna have a huge $400 to win, $20 to start a main with a UMP modified Fall Nationals at Lanier. That race will also be broadcasted and shared over a bunch of social media networks. We have a bunch of sponsors for it. Everybody that raced tonight has signed up for that race pretty much. We have over 150 entrances so far, and we still got about 3 weeks until the race. So it's November 17th to 18th if you guys want to look at that. The page itself, though, is Big Show Promotions. It's me and Brett. We run it together.
Well, fantastic, Tyler. Well, once again, on behalf of all of us, it was an awesome time here tonight. And I see we got a couple of guys who've popped in, so we'll see if we can't get some interviews here on the post-race show. But once again, Tyler, thanks for having us this evening. And, man, we hope to do this again soon. It's a whole lot of fun. Thanks for having us. This is great.
Yes, sir, guys. I appreciate you guys doing this on such short notice. You guys really did an outstanding job. I've got nothing but good comments about you guys so far. Can't wait to get back and watch it.
All right. Well, Tyler Summerlin, the head of Big Show Promotions. Great to have him here tonight. But Blake, David, we can keep going here on the post-race show. We've been, blessed to have a couple of guys that finish in the top 3 pop into TeamSpeak. So I'm going to throw it over to our buddy, Mr. David Shieldhouse. I believe you're going to catch up with third place finisher Neil Adamsick. So take it away there, David.
I got you here at Neil. Do you have me there? Welcome up to the booth. Congratulations on a great run tonight. You were really strong. One of the picks of our esteemed staff up here. Couldn't quite get back up to the lead, but buddy, you look strong in that one car. Tell me about your run tonight.
Oh, it went pretty good, pretty good racing towards the front. Car felt pretty good. Was running the bottom there a little early, but seen them guys running the top, and I went up there, and it's pretty good. I kept with them, just kind of a follow the leader deal, but it was fun.
Now, we saw you get into a little bit of trouble there in the main. Looks like you took a pretty hard lick down there in 1 and 2. Obviously, it didn't affect the car that badly because you were able to stay up front, but what led to that incident? Did the car drive any differently after you hit the wall?
I'm not really sure exactly what happened there, what caused all that, but yeah, I hit it pretty hard, and it felt good after that. Luckily, it doesn't take much at these sometimes. Hit something and can really screw things up, so I was lucky to keep going.
Yeah, sometimes with a race car, you hit that wall and it actually makes it drive better. We've seen that from time to time, and it might have been that way for you tonight. The groove really started to widen out as the track changed, as all the laps got put down. Did it really, make it impossible to make a pass on somebody unless they really messed up bad? It didn't seem like the inside was all that viable unless you made a bonsai move. Did you have anything to make up any spots, or were you just sort of stuck where you were?
I pretty much stuck where I was. It was kind of hard to pass up top, and you couldn't run in the middle or the bottom and pass, really. So, yeah.
Understood. Well, you gave it a hell of a run, survived a lot of chaos out there, and it made a great run out of it. So the floor is yours. I'll give you the microphone to say hello to all the fan sponsors and those that got you here tonight to give them thanks and say anything else that you got to here on the Full Velocity Network tonight.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Brett and them, Big Show Promotions, putting us on. It's going to be a good deal going forward.
There you have it. There is Neil Adamsick. He drives the one. Number 1 in your hearts. Number 3 tonight on the tally sheet in the final standings. But a great run nonetheless. And we'll throw it over to Blake, who's in victory lane. I think he's caught up with the winner of tonight's event. Blake, take it away.
Yeah, David, I've caught up here with the winner tonight, Skylar Brown. Skylar, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Not much, Skylar. It looks like it was clear sailing for you up front there. Tell us how it went as the track changed. Seemed like you were just able to go along with the changes and maintain your track position as you led every single lap there in the A main event. Talk about how it was in that number 50 car.
It was pretty good. Like you said, I was able to stay out front, so I was able to avoid any carnage that would come my way. But usually I like running the bottom in the mods here at Lanier or the middle there, kind of roll through the slick. But it was too dry to do that. You had to really be on the top. So on all those restarts, I had to really make sure I was able to get on that top lane because it'd be hard to pass. And then as long as I was able to do that, I knew I'd have a good shot at staying up there.
For sure, man. And I just want to ask you, you alluded there to kind of running there on the bottom. You know, how much did it change? It seemed like as the night wore on, that bottom lane wasn't really an option for you guys. But to start out, it seems like that's where everybody was running.
Yeah, like there in hot laps, of course, everybody was on the bottom. It was pretty much hammered down. And then my heat race, it was kind of in the middle there, but there was still some stuff on the exit there in the middle, some kind of on the bottom you can get into and get a good drive off. But, you know, I didn't race there until the feature, and the track really slicked off when I got out there. And I tried the bottom, I think, there at the beginning of the feature, and I knew it wasn't going to work, so I just got right back up to the top.
All right, well, good stuff, man. Well, I'll throw it down to you. I'll let you say thanks to anybody who got you here, anybody you want to thank as far as putting this league on or anything. So the mic's all yours, buddy.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brett and Tyler for putting this on. It's a pretty cool deal, and those that know all that goes into putting shows on like this, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So definitely got to thank them for all the hard work they put in to put this on.
All right, fellas out there on the Full Velocity Network airwaves, that's Skylar Brown. He's your winner here at the Lanier Speedway, the Big Show Productions dirt race here, the first show they put on like it. So, Phil, I guess I'll throw it down to you, but man, what a great event we saw tonight.
And the Liquid Nitro Weekly Racing Series, put on by Big Show Promotions here tonight. That's night number 1 for these guys. I know this came together for us, basically at the 11 o'clock hour last night, well into the night. Kudos to my broadcast partner for a long time, Todd Stanton. First time in the control booth here tonight. I think he did a fabulous job with the crazy format. Just doing everything completely off the cuff here tonight, Todd. Fantastic job, brother. So proud of you. Blake and David, thanks for making this go around for us tonight. You guys did such an outstanding job making this old guy sound good. I'd like to thank you guys out in YouTube land. Phil LeCass going to sign off for the night. We'll see you back on our airwaves tomorrow night from Martinsville with the 7-Eleven Super Truck Series. Good night, y'all. We'll see you next time.